Good. Call clickgranger.com/choice or stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
20 past as we say good morning to CNBC's Tom Busby.
Good morning, Jim. Investors keeping a close eye today on shares of drug makers and biotech firms. That's after Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton promised to outline a plan to take on the industry for what she called price gouging in specialty drugs. Some earnings may influence trading today. Before the bell, we hear from AutoZone, CarMax, Carnival Cruises, Darden Restaurants, and food giants ConAgra and General Mills. The Senate Judiciary Committee meets on the proposed merger of health insurance giants Anthem and Aetna and whether it'll be good or bad for consumers. A Bank of America shareholder meeting in Charlotte has one issue on the agenda. It's a vote to split the chairman and CEO roles. Now, both of them are held by Brian Moynihan. And while Pope Francis lands in Washington, D.C. later this afternoon, the president of China arrives in Seattle. He'll have a round of business discussions and meetings before heading to D.C. and New York himself.
Overseas markets, Japanese version closed today for a holiday. The dollar is down a bit to 120.09 yen. The euro also down to $1.11.62. Tom, just what does the Chinese leader have to say to President Obama?
Now, this is not President Xi Jinping's first trip to the U.S., but it is his most important one ever. With cybersecurity, corporate espionage, and territorial rights in the South China Sea all on the agenda. Then, of course, since China is still the world's second largest economy, a lot of big companies want to talk about trade and business cooperation. Now, that's why today, while he's in Seattle, he's going to tour the headquarters of Boeing and Microsoft. He's also going to meet with a who's who of Wall Street names like Warren Buffett, Apple CEO Tim Cook, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Disney CEO Bob Iger, IBM CEO Ginni Rometty, and others. Now, later this week, he heads to Washington for an official state dinner at the White House, then on to the United Nations, delivering his first ever speech there.
All right, there you go. The Pope to the leader of China, Tom. That'll keep the State Department Chief of Protocol busy a while. 23 now, past the hour, as Holly Furfer has checked the calendar.
Fall is upon us. And here are a few ways you can take full advantage of all the season has to offer. Now, it may sound obvious, but get outside. Besides enjoying the cooler weather, you'll have your mood boosted by the light, according to Harvard Medical School. In addition, researchers suggest the outdoors may help with concentration, too. Besides that, the season is a great time to take your workout outdoors. Take a hike, play in the yard, or get some extra activity in by simply going for a walk. And enjoy pumpkins and fruits and vegetables in season. Those include pears, which are at their peak in the fall. Others to consider adding to your shopping list: spaghetti squash, kale, sweet potatoes, and cranberries. Finally, you can't enjoy the season if you don't feel well, right? The millions of people who suffer from mild fall allergies can take a few natural steps that might help, short of seeing an allergist. Those include buying HEPA air filters, using a saline nasal spray, and spending time outdoors later in the day when the pollen counts decrease after 4 p.m. I'm Holly Furfer.
Football is seasonal, and more football coaches issue suspensions for bad behavior. And now at Jesseville High School in Jesseville, Arkansas, after a player was seen waving a Confederate flag during a pep rally, Coach Don Phillips, who says he should have been at the pep rally, has suspended himself for one game. 24 past. Straight ahead on America in the Morning, the Pope emoji after these messages.
Are you ready to take your diabetes management to the next level? Put the Contour Next meter to the test and challenge your meter. The Contour Next meter makes testing easy and highly accurate with close to lab level results. And J.D. Power ranked Bayer's portfolio of meters highest in customer satisfaction with blood glucose meters. So take the challenge. Go to ContourNextChallenge.com, get a free meter, and enter to win free test strips. Find Contour Next at your local Giant.
And now, a touching moment. Well, staying in touch with Geico.
It was a warm summer day. I was just sitting on a porch watching a babbling brook roll by. Then, out of the blue, I got an update from my Geico app saying my claim had been processed. I felt so connected to nature, to Geico. I stayed there the whole afternoon until that guy told me to stop trespassing on his porch. Sheesh, what was his problem?
Claim status updates just a few taps away on the Geico app.
Windows 10. Does this mean I have to buy something else? Did you know Windows 10 is free for the next year if you have a Windows 7 or 8 computer? Microsoft has big plans for Windows 10 and would like to have everyone on the same operating system, so it's willing to give it to you for free. Windows 10 is easy and fast with the best features from Windows 7 and 8. Is it right for you? Call the experts at Response Computer Group. Response Computer Group is your local source for PC tune-ups, virus removal, and computer and laptop repairs.
Hi, I'm Randy Ennis, owner of Response Computer Group. When you've done everything you've thought of to fix your computer and it's still not working right, it's time to bring it to a company that has the experience to make it work right. We're located in Milford off Airport Road in the Independence Common Business Park. Just turn left before you reach the Boys and Girls Club. Response Computer Group has been serving businesses and consumers in the Delaware community since 1983. Give us a call at 335-3400 or visit us online at rcgweb.com.
Delaware 105.9.
Yeah, the Pope. We all here to see the Pope.
We certainly are in the mood to welcome Pope Francis to the United States.
We worked with a couple of social media teams from the Pope's team to develop a Pope emoji keyboard.
Yes, Sean O'Brien, co-founder of Swift Media, has worked with Sports Media Challenge and Altea.org on a set of 52 digital popes.
Some really cool new images centered around the Pope and his visit here to the United States.
And they're free.
It's all about really just celebrating the Pope's visit.
Here's where to find the Pope emojis.
If you just search Pope emoji in the Apple or Android App Store, you'll be able to find it and download it, or you can actually even go to swiftmedia.com. We have a link to it as well.
That's SWYFT, swiftmedia.com, and they're only available for a limited time. However,
anybody who downloads the keyboard during the visit will be able to keep that emoji keyboard forever.
Yes, there he is, Francis on your keyboard.
They're both static and animated images, so it really has a whole feel of fun content to the keyboard.
And they're localized.
We really zeroed in on some iconic representations of each city. He'll be visiting Philadelphia, D.C., New York.
After all, the pontiff bills himself as the man of the people.
He would enjoy the same things that we enjoy when we go and visit these cities.
Indeed.
We have stuff around New York with key landmarks, everything from the Statue of Liberty to the love sign. And in fact, the most popular emoji right now is him eating a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes, we can't seem to run out of ways to get papal right now. At Philadelphia's Franklin Institute, you can see St. Peter's Basilica and Square done in Legos. At Savona's Stavola Food Service of Philadelphia, they've come up with Pope Francis pizza boxes, although Anthony Marino, owner of Marino's Pizza of Harrison, New Jersey, sent the Pope Francis pizza boxes back. He seems to think they're in bad taste. I'm waiting for someone to give the Pope a violet-covered shawl, a purple papal heater. That's the Offbeat on America in the Morning for Tuesday, September the 22nd. And Debbie Boone is 59 today. How about that? And our producer, that's Tom Delac, senior producer Kevin Delaney. We're at JimboTalk.net. I'm Jimbo Hannon, and this is Westwood One.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Want to take back control? A Generac home standby generator protects your home against power outages every second of every day, all year long, automatically, whether you're home or away. Control your power, control your life with a Generac home standby generator.
Contact Satterfield & Ryan, Delaware's elite Power Pro Generac dealer at DelawareGenerators.net or call 422-4919.
Hi, I'm Jeff Twilley, Director of Operations and Technical Services for Delmarva Broadcasting Company. It's my job to keep all of our radio stations on the air at all times. You depend on us for up-to-the-minute news and information, and Delmarva Broadcasting depends on the services of a great local company, Satterfield & Ryan, your elite Generac generator dealer. They take care of our business. Let them take care of yours. Call Satterfield & Ryan at 302-422-4919.
Is it true?
People you know.
Oh, of course.
From right here.
Is that what you're thinking? What's going on?
Delaware 105.9.
And Delaware 105.9 news time is 5:30. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy today, breezy. Showers are possible And again, we have that rough surf and rip currents possible along the beaches today, so be safe if you're headed there. A high today, 74 degrees. A motorcycle crash this morning in Preston, Maryland, under investigation. It happened about 4:30 this morning. There is no word yet on injuries or a cause. The panel that sets Delaware's official revenue projections has bumped up its estimates, but only slightly. The Delaware Economic and Financial Advisory Council on Monday increased its revenue estimate for the current year by $11.4 million above its June estimate. Now, the change is mostly due, I'm told, to personal income tax refunds being lower than previously expected. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 5:31.
CBS News update. One more mass in Santiago, Cuba, set for today. And when the Pope's plane touches down later today on a flight from Cuba, Francis will be the fourth Pope to visit the U.S. White House correspondent Pam Coulter says he'll get a welcome as soon as he steps off the plane.
This is Pope Francis's first visit to the United States, and he'll be greeted by the president, vice president, and their wives when his plane lands at Joint Base Andrews in suburban Maryland. It's not known if the Pope will make any remarks upon his arrival, but there's speculation he might perform a ritual of blessing the ground and offering a prayer.
I'm Barry Bagnotto in Washington. In a Public Religion Research Institute survey, 2/3 of Americans view the Pope favorably, far higher than the popularity rating of the church he leads.
We heard things like he is compassionate, caring, humble.
And Robert Jones says that will help the Pope get his messages heard.
Being able to put issues like climate change, which Americans overall have ranked fairly low, on the front burner.
CBS News Update. I'm Dave Barrett.
The Dan Gaffney Show begins its broadcast day from the opulent new studios of the Delmarva Broadcasting Company's Delaware 105.9 inside the Gaffney Broadcasting Complex. And now, join us as we stand for the playing of our national anthem.
That's a little goofy, especially when you're going into the national anthem.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. What do you think of a 90-bed psychiatric hospital in Georgetown? 839-1059. What do you think about that? Today, I guess, is the deadline to make comments about this for this proposal. Jim Martin is on the phone. He does some work at the ACE Center. He's a friend of the show, and we like to help out some of the things he gets involved in working with folks with mental illness and homelessness and who knows what else. Jim, you think this is a good idea for Sussex County?
Yes, Dan. Yes, I think we don't have any psych beds in Sussex County at all. So this is why this is so important to have some local treatment.
Right, because the local hospitals are inadequate when it comes to psychiatric care?
Well, Nanticoke Hospital used to have the 5th floor, and that was their psych ward, but they closed that. They don't have that anymore, so there's no psych beds at Nanticoke, and there's none at BB Hospital either, or BB Healthcare they call it now. And so that leaves Sussex County without any psych beds.
And so what is the idea behind the public comment about the idea?
Well, we're in the first inning of a 9-inning ball game, and this is the first step. What you have to do is in order to get a hospital approved in the state, you have to go before the Health Resources Board, and they are a committee. Most of the members on that committee are of course from Newcastle County, but that's the first step. So if you were a healthcare company and you wanted to do business in Delaware, the first step that you would go through would be this Health Resources Board.
I gotcha. And so the proposal is a 90-bed psychiatric hospital and in the Georgetown area.
Yes, right. It's right across the street from Del Tech, and it'll be next door to the BB Healthcare and the Lorette, right back in there. So I think it's a good location because it's all healthcare-related activities there.
All right. Is this something, Jim, that people are against?
No, I mean, I see that there's overwhelming support for it. The opposition is coming from Newcastle and Kent, opposing, I think the opposition is from competitors.
Oh, I see. So any kind of opposition, yeah, right. People that...
They're looking, see, the thing about Delaware is we're a statewide system. In a lot of states around the country, you would have a county-wide mental health system. But because Delaware is such a small state, our mental health system is statewide. So I think that's why Sussex County, that's why our voice is important here, because if we get our letters of support in, then the people up in the northern counties will know that we really need this. But so it's important to express our voice.
Yeah. What kind of things happen at a psychiatric hospital? I mean, what goes on there?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a haven for folks. I mean, I heard yesterday that a woman, 27-year-old woman, president of the Seaford High School Student Council, 27 years old, yesterday in Seaford committed suicide. I don't know if you heard about that report, but this is the example of, she may have needed some help. And she could have gone to the psych ward and received the treatment that she needed, locally.
Right.
But what happens when your brain gets ill sometimes, just like your heart would get ill, your brain gets ill, and it needs help. And unfortunately, in Sussex County, if your brain gets sick, then you have to go up north. And you're away from family and friends, and you're away from that support system that you need. Your friends and family can't visit you, or you feel separated from them by a couple hours, and it's just tough on them.
Yeah, it's a world away. It really is a world away.
Yeah, and then as a father or a husband, you got to be driving back and forth. You got to get to work, and it's a strain on the family too.
So you're asking? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, well, I was going to say that because we're not a county-wide mental health system, we don't have that. Usually, a mental health situation is local. That's what the approach is in most other states. It's a local effort to take care of their own people. But for every 100,000 people, you need at least 50 inpatient overnight psych beds. For every 100,000 people, like you did, if you were a community planner, that's what you would look to do. Every 100,000 people, you would have 50 psych beds. Mm-hmm. And Sussex County has 0. I mean, there's just no excuse for that.
Right. So you're asking people to send a letter of support. Today is the deadline to show letters of support to the director of the Delaware Healthcare Commission, correct?
Yeah, the Delaware Healthcare Commission. Underneath the Delaware Healthcare Commission is the Health Resources Board, and you can Google Health Resources Board, and you can see that there's 12 members, and 9 of the 12 are from North. There's only 3 represent Sussex County.
Well, so hopefully they'll understand the importance of it and not play favorites to companies that have beds upstate. The email address you gave me, who is that? Laura Howard.
It's Laura.Howard. Laura.Howard at state.de.us. And it's on my Facebook page, too. I just posted the address.
Okay, cool. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page as well.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We try to get some letters, get our voice heard.
Yeah, the bottom line is this. if you think it makes sense for Sussex County to have some psychiatric hospital available to them to us, and I think it does, I believe what Jim is saying is true, then you want to show letters of support because, as you said, Jim, it's the first inning of a 9-inning game, and they need to show that there's a need for it, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, because if we don't show that I think they're having this hearing, and if they don't see a lot of support, then they'll probably say, well, Sussex County doesn't want it. So, we'll just go with. So it's important to. And another thing about, I was thinking about something else too. The fact that they're saying about 150 local jobs too. I mean, so economically, for economic development, it's a good thing too.
Yeah.
For jobs.
And it seems like a good place. Seems like a good place. You've already got medical facilities there. It seems like it's built just perfectly for that across from Del Tech there.
Yeah, it's perfect. So local families can visit their loved one. Real easy.
All right. Jim Martin, thanks for being on the air. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dan.
All right. And I'll post that email address and some of Jim Martin's words about it on my Facebook page. Good morning. It's Tuesday at 5:41. All right. We can send Kelly Steele to the psychiatric hospital if she gets a little too stressed out.
I'm already there. I'm in the newsplex.
Yeah.
You're
doing all right? How's your mental health? You okay?
It goes up and down depending on the hour of the day.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Danny.
Good to see you. Hi, everybody. We're on camera today. We're streaming on YouTube.
We've been on camera for, going on maybe 3 weeks now?
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Your nice baby blue shirt matches your baby blue eyes today. Looking good, Danny.
Thank you. All right, Kelly, good to have you here at Delaware 105.9, 542.
Join us this Saturday for the Delmarva Potting Shed. I am Valerie Cordry, one of the hosts. Every Saturday from 9 to 11, Jake Smith and I will be broadcasting live from East Coast Garden Center. Be a part of our lively discussions about plants, landscaping, garden design, and all that's new and exciting. We'll sprinkle in some gardening guests to excite your interest and keep you up to date on the many interesting gardening happenings.
And the Delmarva Potting Shed brought to you by Lawns Unlimited, the exclusive mist-away dealer on Delmarva, installing misting and spraying systems to control insects for residential and commercial lawns. Call 645-5296 today or visit lawnsunlimited.com to get started. Also brought to you by Stokely Materials, providing high-quality pavers, retaining walls, decorative stones, sand, soil, and mulch with 2 locations, Route 113 in Georgetown and Route 9 in Lewis. Don't miss the Delmarva Potting Shed this Saturday from 9 to 11 here on Delaware 105.9.
Every day you rise early, sip your coffee, pull on your boots, and go to work. And the team at DuPont Pioneer is with you. When you're choosing which product to plant on which part of which field, we're with you. When you're plotting out your planting schedule as winter turns to spring, we're there too. And when you climb into the combine to harvest another bumper crop, there's no question where we are. Pioneer, with you from the word go. When DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go, what's that mean?
We have a deep bench of people helping you get the most from your soybean acres year after year.
Your local DuPont Pioneer team is dedicated to knowing your land and knowing your needs throughout the season.
It means we bring world-class soybean varieties developed and proven in your area.
Pioneer brand soybean varieties are developed and tested locally to deliver the agronomics you need to maximize yield and profitability. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
Hi, I'm Mark Shawnee from State Farm here in Milford. Smart Drive is not just for teenagers anymore. Smart Drive helps parents to think about their own driving, and it opens a dialogue between parents and kids to make driving safer for the whole family. Parents, young drivers, and passengers too can all participate to make every trip a smarter drive or ride. Like always, wearing your seatbelt. For tips and more information on smart driving, visit smartdriveusa.org.
Hello, sir.
What's going on in here?
I'm giving Franklin and Accounting a facial.
In the supply closet?
Well, I finished all my work at 10 a.m., so...
Are you bored?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you should think about another job.
I went online to delmarvajobs.com. I uploaded my resume for free in minutes, and they're looking for a job for me while I give facials.
How lucky are you?
Excuse me, sir?
I'll miss you. Can you squeeze me in at 4 o'clock for an eyebrow wax? I'm looking a little like Frida Kahlo.
DelmarvaJobs.com. Long name, amazing results.
I'm from the Violetta Violin Store. I see you have horses that board here.
Yes, but none of them play the violin.
Our violin bows are made of horse hairs, and we're looking for some.
Your job is collecting horsehair?
It's, not my dream job.
Ever hear DelmarvaJobs.com?
They have horses?
No, they have tons of good local jobs on their website.
I don't have time.
You can upload your resume for free, and they do all the looking for you.
Okay, let me ask a favor. Okay, I only pulled one.
Told you she'd hate it.
Oh,
DelmarvaJobs.com. Long name, amazing results.
Take Delaware 105.9 with you everywhere by streaming us on your smartphone or tablet. Download the Delaware 105.9 Listen Live app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. Live streaming brought to you in part by Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, where they sell utility trailers new and used, as well as sheds, carports, gazebos, dog kennels, and swing sets. Give them a call at 302-337-8228 or on the web at Wellers.com. On air, on demand, and on your device. Delaware 105.9.
Do you believe in astrology? I mean, really believe in astrology. I'm not talking about reading your daily horoscope in the newspaper. I'm talking about, do you believe in the astrological signs? Do you believe in stuff like Mercury retrograde? Let's talk about it today on the Susan Monday Show. Starting at 10, Delaware 105.9.
What? I got your Mercury retrograde, whatever that means. That means, what does that mean, even? Mercury retrograde. I think that is the belief that when Mercury is in retrograde, bad things are happening, right? Like there's a dark cloud over you.
That explains it.
Your Mercury.
That explains my
Kelly,
Monday. Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Mercury is in retrograde.
Thanks.
Nonsense. All right, good morning. At Delaware 105.9, it's 547. So a psychiatric hospital in Georgetown. That would be good. It's a hospital, right? Usually they're welcomed with open arms. Wow, a new hospital. Got to show a need for one. Well, if there are no real psychiatric beds, as it's called, that seems like it should be easy to prove. Easy to show a need. If you've got a certain population in Sussex County and there's no psychiatric beds, why do they think we have to travel upstate for that kind of health service? It seems like a no-brainer. Well, Jim Martin says send a comment in support of the hospital idea, if you're into it. And he gives an email address for this person at the state of Delaware taking the emails. And I posted that on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Dan Gaffney Show. Facebook.com/Dan Gaffney Show. Okay, and that's what is on the air here. Beautiful morning. I had a great time walking around downtown Rehoboth yesterday. Yesterday, the meters were off. The parking meters went down. We heard the stories. Really good stuff. Had a chance to go into town for a little while yesterday. Ran into all kinds of folks. All kinds of people. Good morning, Fred Munzert from the Milton Theater. Team Munzert. Ran into him yesterday. I'm on Team Munzert. And ran into him. What else? Oh, I'm sitting at a traffic light yesterday. And someone is, and I'm on Route 1 driving into Rehoboth, and someone is honking their horn. Honk, honk, honk. I'm like, oh, and I look to my left. Someone's trying to get my attention. And I look over, and there's a guy in a Volkswagen. I think it was a Volkswagen. And it's Achilles from El Dorado. I love that place. El Dorado, or the fish taco place, behind, it's on Route 24 over by the Gray Hair Tavern near Route 1, right kind of behind the McDonald's. There's El Dorado, great local spot, and it's Achilles. Dan! And I roll the window down. Dan, how are you? We have our highway back! He was excited that that tourist season was over. Look at this, we have the highway. And he's telling me about, and he's so excited. And I said, you got it, man. I'm giving him thumbs up. It was good. All right. All right. Then I'm walking around Rehoboth. I see Nancy and Joel Leidy, friends of mine from a long time ago. It was really cool to run into them. It's just, in downtown Rehoboth was packed yesterday. The ocean was rough, but downtown Rehoboth was packed because of parking meters. You didn't have to pay, and a lot of people were taking advantage of that. There was a lot of stuff happening.
And let me guess what you had for lunch. A Nicoboli.
I did not. I did not go to a Nicola yesterday.
How can you go to Rehoboth and not go
I
to
know. I didn't even stop in to say hi, and I feel bad about that. But I was on a mission. I was doing other things. So it was a good time. It was a good time. So hats off, Rehoboth. Good to see everybody yesterday. It was good to be out and about a little bit. And today, it looks like you're going to have a chance to get out and about, but we may see some showers. And I think we're going to get our forecast on the air now. Meteorologist, let's do this. Meteorologist Steve Williams with your complete forecast. The area's most accurate weather information.
Today, mostly cloudy and breezy, a shower in spots. Watch out for some rough surf and rip currents. High today, 74. Clouds will be breaking tonight. It'll be breezy, low 65. Sunshine, breezy day tomorrow, high 76. And then overcast tomorrow night, low 65. Thursday, breezy, times of clouds and sun with a high 77. And then Thursday night, cloudy, breezy, and warm with a low at 68. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
I'm bringing up current temperature here. It's 5:51 early. We're up, and it is cloudy, 67 in Lewis, 67 in Rehoboth Beach.
The comments, views, and opinions expressed on the air at Delaware 105.9 are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and not those of staff, management, or advertisers at Delmarva Broadcasting Company.
If your home or apartment was built before 1978, renovations can spread lead paint dust that can cause children 6 and under to grow up with behavior issues and even severe learning disabilities. If you're having work done, the EPA now requires that your contractor be lead safe certified. Don't let lead paint take away your child's future before it even begins.
Now I know my
For a certified contractor, visit leadsafedelaware.org or call 1-800-464-4357. Brought to you by Delaware Health and Social Services.
Hi, everybody. Jim Weller here, and you're invited to tune in. Weller Does Delmarva Saturday mornings right here from 7 to 9 a.m. And this Saturday, I'm going to be live on location at the Delaware State Fairgrounds for one of the largest auctions in the area. It's Wilson's Auction Sales Mid-Atlantic Fall Equipment Auction. It's going to be epic. They're going to have construction equipment, tractors, combines, planters, implements, trailers, trucks, fleet vehicles, lawn and garden stuff, tools, and more. The auction starts at 9. Tune me in or come on out to the auction. I look forward to seeing you.
Why waste time running from store to store comparing samples and swatches for your window coverings? Let Budget Blinds, your local experts, come to you. Our design consultants will bring samples, swatches, and styles to you so you can see how they look in your home. Or you can check out different ideas and trends at our showroom on Route 9, 4.5 miles west of 5 Points. From sales to installation, we make the process easy for you. Plus, we service all of our products. Call us at 856-6799 and let us get started on your new window coverings today.
A new study published in Regulatory Toxicology and Pharmacology showed what exactly is hiding in e-cigarette vapor compared to the contents of cigarette smoke. Scientists ran tests on e-cigarettes, traditional cigarettes, and ordinary room air. The researchers specifically looked for 8 toxins in this study, and it was no surprise that tobacco cigarette smoke was full of the poisonous chemicals. But researchers were shocked to see that the toxins in e-cigarette vapor were quite similar to that of the normal toxins found in regular room air. In fact, the study found that there was no major increase in toxins between normal air and e-cigarette vapors. Have you considered reducing your smoking risk by switching to the electronic cigarette? Come to one of Delmar Vapor Lounge's convenient locations on Route 113 in Millsboro at the Mill Pond Plaza or Route 13 in the Food Line Shopping Plaza in Delmar, where you can still try an e-cigarette in a warm, friendly indoor place with a knowledgeable sales staff. That's Delmar Vapor Lounge in Millsboro or Delmar, where we know people smoke for the nicotine but die from the tar and toxins in a traditional cigarette.
For your next vacation, turn your to-do list into a to-die list. Cruise on Royal Caribbean's Grandeur of the Seas from Baltimore or Liberty of the Seas from Bayonne, and no airfare is required. Also, the brand new Anthem of the Seas will be sailing from Bayonne in November. There's only one word to describe this ship: wow. Dynamic dining, family-friendly staterooms, skydiving at sea, bumper cars, and the list goes on. So why wait another minute? Book now for the best offers. Contact Bethany Travel at 800-806-TRIP to reserve your stateroom today. 800-806-TRIP. You have the chance to sail the seas with Royal Caribbean, and best of all, you can sail from the Port of Baltimore or Bayonne and no airfares needed. Royal Caribbean has great pricing, and Bethany Travel can assist you every step of the way. Even a cell number provided for after-hours emergency, and the best part, you get the same price as the internet with excellent customer service. Visit Bethany Travel online at bethanytravel.net or call 800-806-8747 to get on board.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I'd like kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm gonna return the kayak.
Can we walk home?
How about a taxi?
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
All right, 5:56, Delaware 105.9. Good morning. 839-1059. Do you think Sussex County needs a hospital devoted to psychiatric care? Do we need that? What's your just first impression here? 839-1059. 839-1059. Talking about that news item this morning. We had Jim Martin on. Jim, big advocate for it, says Sun Behavioral Health has an application for a 90-bed hospital that would be built in Georgetown, and by the close of business today, letters must be submitted to establish the need for such a hospital. Do we have a need for that in Sussex County? I didn't know what Jim was saying there. He said, we had psychiatric beds at some of the hospitals, but we don't have those anymore. And if somebody needs a mental health, psychiatric stay in a hospital, they have to go upstate. So that's what we were talking about early today. Hi, it's great to be with you. It's great to be with you. Kelly Steele coming up in local news this morning. I want to remind you that, it's back to school time. If your kids are having trouble seeing in school, that you can get an eye exam at Halpern Eye. I encourage you to do that. Halpern Eye has great pediatric care. I've taken my children there. Halpern Eye in Seaford, Ocean View, new Georgetown location next to Redner's, Milford as well. And they have a back-to-school eyeglass special, too, if you need new glasses. $69. 2 pair for $89. That's great. Designer packages for students with free lenses. So learn about it at halperneye.com, HALPERN.com.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
And Delaware 105.9 news time is 5:59. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy and breezy again today. Showers possible this afternoon. Also a heads up, again, rough surf and rip currents are possible along the beaches. Please be safe if you're headed in that direction this afternoon. A high today 74. A motorcycle crash this morning in Preston, Maryland, under investigation at this hour. It happened about 4:30 this morning. One person taken to Easton Memorial Hospital for treatment. Still no word on what caused that crash this morning. Delaware State Police currently investigating the robbery of a Bear Area bank. Police say the suspect entered the M&T Bank in the Fox Run Shopping Center yesterday morning. He approached the teller, presented her with a demand note for cash. The employee complied. turned over an undisclosed amount of money. Nobody hurt in that M&T Bank robbery yesterday. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis.
Delaware 105.9.
It's 6 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. Pope Francis leaves Cuba for the United States today, and he can expect an unusually warm greeting when his plane touches down at a military base outside Washington. CBS News White House correspondent Pam Coulter.
Official guests of the United States are usually greeted at the White House, but in a sign of their high regard for Pope Francis, the president, vice president, and their wives will make the short trip to Joint Base Andrews to welcome him to the U.S. Then President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush were the first to break precedent when they went to Andrews for the arrival of Pope Benedict 7 years ago.
Last night, the Pope visited the shrine of Cuba's patron saint in the city of Santiago and prayed for reconciliation among the Cuban people. To politics now. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker is calling on other Republican presidential candidates to follow his example and drop out of the still crowded race.
I believe that I'm being called to lead by helping to clear the field so that a positive, conservative message can rise to the top of the field.
At a campaign stop in Louisiana, Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton promised to bring down the cost of prescription drugs if she's elected.
As your president, I want to build on the progress we've made. I'll do more to bring down health care costs for families, ease burdens on small businesses, and make sure consumers have the choices they deserve.
Republican hopeful Ted Cruz took his campaign to the CBS Late Show. Cruz told Stephen Colbert what it's like to run for president.
Running for president is real simple. You just have to surgically disconnect your shame sensor. Because you spend every waking moment asking people for money.
Volkswagen has admitted faking emissions tests so some of its diesel models could get a passing grade, but what about other car companies? The Environmental Protection Agency says it's going to look into that. The Justice Department is conducting a criminal investigation of VW. The skirmishing over same-sex marriage licenses in Rowan County, Kentucky is taking a new turn. Live to CBS News correspondent Vicki Barker.
When County Clerk Kim Davis got out of jail, she confiscated all the marriage licenses that had been issued to gay couples in her absence, then reissued them with wording that noted they'd been dispensed pursuant to federal court order. Now, some of the couples are questioning the validity of the altered licenses. The ACLU is arguing gay couples are being stigmatized, and they're all demanding that a federal judge either compel Davis to reissue the licenses or have her replaced. Frank?
European officials have begun meetings on how to accommodate the thousands of refugees and other migrants pouring in from Syria and other countries. 10,000 reached Austria yesterday. An additional 1,000 are expected today at the main crossing point with Hungary. Fresh concerns about an interest rate increase and the state of the Chinese economy could drive stocks sharply lower at the opening. S&P futures are down 31 points. This is CBS News.
Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
As an entrepreneur, you're always on the go. So turn your mobile phone into a business phone system with Grasshopper, the entrepreneur's phone system. Get a new business number or keep your current one. Sound professional with a main greeting and multiple extensions that forward callers to your mobile phone. You can even get voicemails transcribed. Join over 150,000 small businesses who stay connected with Grasshopper. See how it works at grasshopper.com. The entrepreneur's phone system.
Delaware 105.9 News Time, 6:04. Good morning. Heavy smoke damage reported at the Macaroni Grill restaurant in Tallyville following a fire. 6 ABC reporting this morning that the blaze broke out about 11:30 last night at the restaurant. which is located in the 4100 block of Concord Pike. One fireman suffered a cut to his hand while he was battling that fire last night. The cause of the blaze remains under investigation. The panel that sets Delaware's official revenue projections has bumped up its estimates, but only slightly. The Delaware Economic and Financial Advisory Council yesterday increased its revenue estimate for the current year by $11.4 million above its June estimate. The change is mostly, I'm told, due to personal income tax refunds being lower than previously expected. Personal income taxes also played a role in the council's decision to increase its revenue estimate for next fiscal year by $29.8 million. The meeting was the panel's first since lawmakers passed a $3.9 billion spending plan for the current year, which, of course, began back on July 1. Although this year's budget is about 2.5% higher than last year's, lawmakers are bracing themselves for potentially painful decisions in the future, given troubling revenue projections for fiscal year 2017. Parking meter fees have come to an end in Rehoboth Beach, but the second season is just getting started. We get more from Delaware 105.9's John Butler.
By lock and key on Monday, marking an end to the summer season. However, Rehoboth Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce President Carol Everhart tells Delaware 105.9 that marks the beginning of the fall season.
Like Sea Witch, like Jazz Festival, like the Sidewalk Sale. And the best way for people to keep up with that is, any of the media is usually carrying it, but it's also on the Chamber's website. And you go to beach-fund.com and click into events.
Rehoboth Jazz Festival starts the season off on October 15th with the 26th annual Sea Witch Halloween and Fiddlers Festival starting October 23rd and runs through the 25th. Parking meter fees are scheduled to come back on the Friday immediately preceding Memorial Day. Everhart says parking meters were one of the biggest complaints the Chamber received, with visitors taking notice of the increased fees and the convenience of the Park mobile app. John Butler, Delaware 105.9.
Thank you, John. A proposal to construct a psychiatric hospital in Georgetown is up for public review, including a public comment period that is about to expire. Written comments on the proposal are due to the Delaware Healthcare Commission by the close of business this afternoon. Also, Sun Behavioral Health's application will be reviewed by the Delaware Health Resources Board. That's at a hearing next Tuesday, September the 29th. The meeting starts at 2 o'clock at the Delaware Tech Owens campus. Delaware 105.9 News Time is 6:07. High school volleyball leading off Schofield on sports this morning.
Checking the high school scoreboard in girls volleyball, Cape beat Sussex Academy 3-0. Woodbridge fell to Christiana 3-1. St. Thomas More swept Sussex Central 3-0. And Milford lost to Brandywine 3-1. In boys soccer, Laurel edged Worcester Prep 2-1. And new high school football rankings have been posted at DelawareSportsZone.com with a new number 1 in Division II. In Major League Baseball, the series opener between the Orioles and Nationals was postponed due to rain. They'll make up that game on Thursday afternoon at 4:05. On Monday Night Football, the Jets D forced 5 Colts turnovers. Ryan Fitzpatrick tossed a pair of TDs, and New York moves to 2-0 after beating Indianapolis 20-7. And in preseason NHL action, the Flyers and Islanders split a pair of games, with the Isles winning 3-2 in Brooklyn, the Flyers taking the game in Allentown 5-3, and the Caps shut out Carolina 2-0. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
Yeah. Go Jets.
I don't even know.
Go Jets.
Delaware 105.9 weather forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, breezy, showers possible this afternoon, and just like yesterday, rough surf, rip currents possible if you're headed to the beach. A high today 74. Out the door temperatures this morning 62 right now in Felton, 64 in downtown Milford. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
Does Sussex County need a psychiatric hospital? 90 beds, mental psychiatric care. Does Sussex County need this? 839-1059. I guess I'm wondering if you've ever experienced in your family or friends the need for someone to be hospitalized for a psychiatric issue. Right? The proposal is to build a 90-bed, that's a pretty sizable facility, actually, 90-bed hospital, right? 90-bed psychiatric hospital in Georgetown, across from where Del Tech is. There's a BB medical place over there now. There's a La Red. And this would be a, psychiatric hospital. Because according to those who are pushing for this, a lot of the psychiatric care, if somebody needs to go to the hospital for this, is upstate. Do we need one in Sussex County? I just wonder if there's any firsthand experience. I mean, how crazy are we? 839-1059. It's probably not politically correct to say crazy, is it? Well, I mean, you would think with a certain amount of people that we would have a certain amount of psychiatric care. Jim Martin says, you need like 50 beds for every 100,000 people if you were to plan this out. And we don't have any in Sussex County, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. I was always under the impression that each hospital had a certain amount of psychiatric area, but apparently he says we don't. All right. So if you have any experience to share, feel free. I mean, it's a comment period today. Apparently you have to show a need for this before you can build a hospital. You got to have a need for it. And phase one is to submit some sort of letter to the Health Resources Board by the end of business today, so that people in Delaware that think we need this in Delaware and in Georgetown, Sussex County, need to put their comments in. And if it's an issue that you're interested in, I have an email address on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Dan Gaffney Show. All right. If you need to present oral comments at a hearing, there's a phone number to call. That's on the line on the website as well. Weird. I don't know why do you got to get all the approval and stuff? Why can't you just say, "Look, I'm going to build it"? Do you know, Kelly? Why can't you just say, "Look, we're a group that wants to build a hospital, then just build one"? What's the big deal?
That's not the way the state of Delaware works, or really any other state for that matter.
Why?
I don't have the answer.
Why do you have to have a public comment?
You have to get
a healthcare commission
approval,
and all that.
to have approval. You have to have meetings to have meetings. You have to have comments to comment.
Come to think of it, yeah. Why am I even talking about this? Why don't you just say, "Look, I think we need"? They think they want to build a 90-bed hospital.
Right, we need it.
Why don't they just build it?
Here's the money. Here's the space. Let's go with it.
Why do they got to get a state approval? Like the government has to approve some group's desire to build a hospital? Really? Come to think of it, it's insane. Those people ought to be in the hospital, psychiatric hospital. All right. Now, I'm just kidding. I think there's a need for it, and I hope they get what they want. Other than that, that's it. What else is on your mind? Anything? 839-1059. 839-1059. Top news stories, politics. Scott Walker is out. Hey, Republicans, if you liked him, if he was your candidate, too bad. He's gone. Who's clapping? Oh, now you're clapping. I was clapping for the Jets. Now you're clapping for... Really?
One less in line.
Oh, come on,
Bye-bye, Mr. Walker. See ya.
What's wrong with him? A lot of people liked him.
Nothing against him. I'm just saying bye-bye. See ya.
He dropped out yesterday. Only 0.5% of Republicans and Republican-leaning voters were picking him as their candidate in polling. 0.5% of Republicans are likely Republicans. Wisconsin governor, he's the Wisconsin governor, cheesehead, Scott Walker. And isn't that where the cheesehead guys are? It's back to football again. As the political pundits say, his message did not resonate. I don't know if you're a Scott Walker person, but there you go. He'll not be the last to drop out. It's a big field. So when the money is not coming in, you can't even afford to take a plane trip to the next event, or stay at a hotel somewhere or whatever. It's just not coming in. You know it's over. All right. On the Democratic side here, Hillary Clinton still leads, but Senator Bernie Sanders' support is growing. Okay? But even though he's not in the race, she's got 42%. Even though he's not in the race, Joe Biden has 22% support. Even though he has not officially announced that he's going to run. That's Hillary Clinton's biggest nightmare, I think. Biggest disaster for a Hillary Clinton campaign, Joe Biden. And did you see that story that Mrs. Biden there was some story floating around that she is maybe ready, like giving her support? All signs still pointing to the fact that he's going to jump in this thing. All right. Some of his comments directed toward Republicans like Trump. Very telling. Very telling. So it should be quite interesting to watch if he decides not to run. The theory is most of his support would go to Hillary and not Bernie Sanders. But, could be Hillary Clinton's biggest nightmare if Biden runs. So we're watching that here, okay? That's your politics news. Okay, this morning at Delaware 105.9. We're going to talk about free Wi-Fi, the risk of your free Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, we'll talk about that this morning. More bad news for Volkswagen. I mentioned the story about Volkswagen tweaking their diesel engines to pass emission standards. It's bigger than we thought. It's amazing what's happening with them, and it's a fascinating story. And with all of these proposals to build big new retail shopping areas in Sussex County, the Overbrook Shores there at Cave Neck Road, the place across from Cape and Lopin High School, and there are other places approved already for retail space. I heard a couple of callers yesterday, it might have been on Sumo's show or recently, remarking, what stores could possibly come? Don't we have enough here? Well, let's look at the top 100 retailers in the country and see how many are not here that might want to come here. So we'll look at that coming up later this morning at Delaware 105.9. We're on the radio, 105.9. We have an app. If you have an Android device, look up in the Google Play Store, the Delaware 105.9 app. Apple, you can get a link to the Apple Store and get our app if you go to Delaware1059.com. We are streaming on YouTube with a 3-camera setup this morning. That live stream link is on my Facebook page, and you can also search The Dan Gaffney Show on YouTube. Here is Traffic Watch. Robin Bryson is here.
Dan, we're off to a pretty good start this morning, seeing light activity all the way around. Major routes look to be in great shape this morning, including 13 as you work your way from Laurel through Seaford up through Bridgeville, or 113 out of Selbyville through Millsboro up into Georgetown, or continuing up toward Milford. In Milford, you do have the construction northbound 113 at Route 14, left-hand lane blocked there. And then just north of there, the overpass from 113 onto Route 1 northbound closed off. Detours posted. Not a problem at the moment, but as you get into the heart of the rush hour, it does. You do see some delays in the area there. Kent County, in and out of Dover, major routes are all moving along very well. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Now listen.
We figure talk radio means you get to talk too.
Yeah, me too.
With people you know from right here.
I want to hear your thoughts.
Delaware 105.9.
All right, here we go with your forecast on Delaware 105.9. Meteorologist Steve Williams is with us.
Today, mostly cloudy and breezy, a shower in spots. Watch out for some rough surf and rip currents. High today, 74. Clouds will be breaking tonight. It'll be breezy, low 65. Sunshine, breezy day tomorrow, high 76. And then overcast tomorrow night, low 65. Thursday, breezy, times of clouds and sun with a high 77. And then Thursday night, cloudy, breezy, and warm with a low at 68. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
I'm with Colin Walls of Walls Service Center in downtown Milford, Delaware. Colin, you're kind of experts when it comes to a lot of things with your automobile, including air conditioning service.
That's right, Dan, and it's not just cars. We work on lots of different things that have an automotive AC in it. Anything from a dump truck, a backhoe, farm equipment. If it has an automotive-style air conditioning in it, we can take care of it.
Warranty on the compressor, I hear?
Dan, if you get a brand new compressor, you will get a lifetime warranty on it. It's kind of unheard of in this industry.
Speaking of warranties, you're a federated car care center. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means you get a nationwide warranty, Dan. And also, more specifically, we have our own warranty that is just a little bit better than everybody else's. We actually give a 15-month, 15,000-mile warranty on all repairs, and each specific part may have a longer warranty. Give us a call, 422-8110, or stop in at 220 Northeast Front Street, or check us out on the web, wallservicecenter.com.
Hello, sir.
What's going on in here?
I'm giving Franklin and Accounting a facial.
In the supply closet?
Well, I finished all my work at 10 a.m., so...
Are you bored?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you should think about another job.
I went online to delmarvajobs.com. I uploaded my resume for free in minutes, and they're looking for a job for me while I give facials.
How lucky are you?
Excuse me, sir?
I'll miss you. Can you squeeze me in at 4 o'clock for an eyebrow wax? I'm looking a little like Frida Kahlo.
delmarvajobs.com. Long name, amazing results.
I'm from the violin store. I see you have horses that board here.
Yes, but none of them play the violin.
Our violin bows are made of horse hairs, and we're looking for some.
Your job is collecting horsehair?
It's, not my dream job.
Ever hear delmarvajobs.com?
They have horses?
No, they have tons of good local jobs on their website.
I don't have time.
You can upload your resume for free, and they do all the looking for you.
Okay, let me ask a favor. Okay, I only pulled one.
Told you she'd hate it.
Oh,
delmarvajobs.com. Long name, amazing results.
Feast your ears from 3 to 5 every Saturday on Delaware 105.9 when the Rehoboth Foodie takes a behind-the-scenes peek at the business of eating here on Delmarva. Sip and Bite with Rehoboth Foodie features chefs, restaurateurs, and noted foodies who will fill you in on all the great and maybe not so great restaurants in the area, plus the latest news on food and fun. Sip and Bite with Rehoboth Foodie is brought to you in part by Sodell Concepts and their 8 Delaware restaurants, including Fish On in Lewis, Lupo Di Mare and Papa Grande's in Rehoboth Beach, Blue Coast Northeast Seafood Kitchen and Matt's Fish Camp near Bethany Beach, and Papa Grande's Coastal Taqueria and Catch 54 in Fenwick Island. So join me, the Rehoboth Foodie, for a Sip and a Bite on Delaware 105.9 every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 5. You can also stream the show live simply by logging on to Delaware1059.com. It's a feast for the ears.
So, you want copies and printing done fast, friendly, and affordable? Then head to Print Promo Coast to Coast at 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, near Route 1 at 5 Points. We're locally owned and operated and can turn your job around even while you wait. And yes, we even print envelopes. Print Promo Coast to Coast, 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, or you can call us at 644-9570. It's time to think outside of the box store and shop local.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
LaRed Health Center is a patient-centered medical home where a dedicated team of healthcare professionals take responsibility for the comprehensive quality health care provided to patients and arrange for appropriate care with other qualified providers as needed. Highly accessible and affordable, LaRed Health Center offers pediatric and primary care, adult and senior services, behavioral health services, women health services, and oral health care including exams, screenings, cleanings, restorations, extractions, and fillings. LaRed Health Center accepts most insurance plans including Medicare and Medicaid, works with people who currently do not have health insurance, and is accepting new patients of all ages. Although LaRed Health Center is not a free clinic, income documentation may qualify uninsured patients for LaRed Health Center's sliding fee scale. Whether you've lived in Sussex County your whole life, recently moved here, or are just visiting the area, LaRed Health Center with convenient locations in Georgetown, Milford, and Seaford can help meet your medical needs and become a network of quality care centered around you and your family. Call today to make an appointment at 302-855-1233 or online at LaRedHealthCenter.org.
believe in astrology? I mean, really believe in astrology. I'm not talking about reading your daily horoscope in the newspaper. I'm talking about, do you believe in the astrological signs? Do you believe in stuff like Mercury retrograde? Let's talk about it today on the Susan Monday Show. Starting at 10, Delaware 105.9.
All right, Delaware 105.9. You've heard about what's going on with Volkswagen? I don't know if anybody drives a Volkswagen. Do you drive a Volkswagen? The U.S. Justice Department has opened a criminal probe into this rigging of their emission systems. Now, I talked a little bit about this yesterday just because I thought it was an interesting story. Volkswagen admitted that for years they were equipping some of the turbo diesel cars with software that kept toxic emissions within legal levels only while the car was being tested. Smart, those Germans. I mean, it's fraudulent, but it's also crafty. You got to hand it to them. Right? 500,000 Volkswagen and Audi branded vehicles may have the bogus software. But here's the deal. The company could face $18 billion with a B, billion with a B, in penalties from our Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, because the EPA is claiming that Volkswagen, by tricking them, spewed so many pounds of nasty stuff into the air when they weren't supposed to. Volkswagen is the world's biggest automaker. I thought Toyota was. This story says they're the world's biggest. Is that right, Colin? Colin Walls?
Yes, Toyota is the world's largest. Volkswagen is the world's biggest.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
What is the difference? I thought it was Toyota, but my mistake. It says here, I didn't fact check it, but this news item says they're the world's biggest automaker. But get this. They lost more than 18% of its value in the stock market yesterday. 18%. So all of the vehicles involved had 4-cylinder turbo diesel engines and include both Volkswagen and Audi models made between 2009 and 2015. This is why I say they're pretty crafty. Here's the way I see it. They have these environmental standards put upon them. Very difficult or expensive. So they just put software in there to trick the testing unit. Ow. Crazy. Look how long it went on, too. From 2009 till now. It went undetected. They had this bogus software in there. Just going to show you can program things to do all sorts of things. What you think you are seeing, you are not seeing. Imagine if somebody programmed an electronic voting machine to act a certain way. You think you're voting for somebody, but you're really voting for somebody else. Could that happen? So anyway, these were Audi and VWs made between 2009 and 2015. The cars have not been recalled, although Volkswagen has ordered its dealers not to sell any 2015 or older models that are still on their lots that have this issue. This does not affect 2016 models, apparently. But that's a big dump. 18% of its value of the stock yesterday. All right. So there you have it. I don't think it... I don't know how it's going to affect you if you drive a Volkswagen. I mean, if you like the car, you like the car. It's more of an EPA thing, emissions. You're a bigger polluter, I guess, than you thought. I suppose that's the only thing. Coming up on News Time at 6:29. You don't have to agree.
We figure talk radio means you get to talk too.
Mm-hmm.
With people you know from right here.
I want to know what people think.
Delaware 105.9.
All right, here we are, Delaware 105.9. Let's go to Steve Williams with the complete forecast.
Today, mostly cloudy and breezy, a shower in spots. Watch out for some rough surf and rip currents. High today, 74. Clouds will be breaking tonight. It'll be breezy, low 65. Sunshine, breezy day tomorrow, high 76. And then overcast tomorrow night, low 65. Thursday, breezy, times of clouds and sun with a high 77. And then Thursday night, cloudy, breezy, and warm with a low at 68. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Local news, Kelly Steele is with us at 6:30. Kelly.
Danny, good morning. The Sussex County Council meeting today. However, that meeting will start at 1 p.m. instead of the usual 10 a.m. The council has a very short agenda. However, there are 3 public hearings scheduled to begin around 1:30. Delaware 105.9's John Butler will be at the meeting, and we'll have more for us later on this afternoon. State Department of Health has given the green light to an alternative treatment center that will become New Jersey's 4th medical marijuana dispensary when it opens in October. Health Department officials issued the permit after a final inspection was conducted at Compassionate Sciences, Inc. in Belmar. The approval announced yesterday in New Jersey. And Georgetown introduces a little free library, which allows youngsters to just take a book from the house-shaped library on a pole at the new community playground. That's on King Street. The Georgetown Playground and Park Committee says if a boy or girl loves the book, they can keep it.
Sweet.
CBS News is next, Dan.
CBS News Update. In Santiago, the second largest city in Cuba, children gathered and sang for Pope Francis. CBS's Chris Martinez says the Pope's message in the next day, or in the past day, focused on personal transformation. He will offer another message in roughly 90 minutes.
In Santiago, Cuba, another huge and final mass is planned at the Shrine of Our Lady of Charity of El Cobre before the Pope leaves for Washington.
I'm Barry Bagnato on the National Mall in Washington, where crowds will gather this week hoping to get a glimpse of a very popular Pope.
He has the mindset of the simple man.
He's leading the Catholic Church in the right direction.
Compassionate. He's very concerned about the treatment of refugees.
While here, he'll visit with America's top leaders as well as the hungry and homeless lined up for lunch at a sidewalk food kitchen.
During his trip to Washington, Pope Francis will also address Congress. CBS News Update. I'm Dave Barrett.
Southern States of Milford has been serving Lower Delaware for over 60 years, keeping your lawns and gardens green and beautiful year-round. Southern States of Milford is your source for Echo, Steel and Exmark power equipment. Southern States of Milford is the place for agricultural feed, pet, outdoor and fuel needs. Need mulch, fertilizer and landscaping supplies? Your local experts at Southern States of Milford have you covered. Call 422-8066. Southern States of Milford on Williamsville Road. Farmer owned since 1923.
It's easy for me to recommend Integrity Windows and Doors to my customers because they're made from the toughest material out there. Ultrex fiberglass. Durable and strong, it survives the toughest tests in the industry. And Ultrex provides a superior finish, resisting fading, chalking, and cracking, making every product energy efficient. Integrity Windows and Doors come from the Marvin family of brands, so they're more than just strong, they're beautiful too. Your customers can choose from various styles, shapes, and colors. When tough is a must, go with Integrity Windows and Doors, built to perform.
From new construction to remodeling and replacement projects, American Cedar and Millwork is the local resource you can count on for your next project. The team of window and door experts at American Cedar and Millwork has the expertise you need to ensure your job is a successful one. Call 302-645-9580 and schedule an appointment today. Visit American Cedar and Millwork in Lewis, Delaware, 302-645-9580.
Be sure to play the ultimate football pool at our website, Delaware105.9.com. Presented by Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar. Each week, our top scorer will win a $30 gift certificate courtesy of Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar. Offering 2 stories of great dining with an excellent view of downtown Rehoboth. Enjoy great food and drink specials during all pro and college football games. And bet, watch, and win with the Delaware Sports Lottery now at Nicola Pizza on the Avenue, Upper Deck Sports Bar. And be sure to play the ultimate football pool every week at Delaware105.9.com.
Welcome back to Delaware Housing Matters, where we try to answer all your housing questions. I have another caller on the line. Hi, what's your housing question today?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
My husband and I are looking to buy a house, and we've heard now is a good time to buy. A friend of mine told me that there is a new tax credit available for first-time buyers. Is that true? I thought that expired a while ago.
It absolutely is true. Delaware State Housing Authority recently announced the Delaware First-Time Homebuyer Tax Credit, which can help you receive up to $2,000 a year federal tax credits.
Oh, wow. That could really help us out.
Definitely. To learn more, check out the Delaware State Housing Authority website, destatehousing.com, or give them a call toll-free, 888-363-8808.
Thanks so much. That's great to know.
No problem, and good luck on getting your new home. Let's go to our next caller.
Brought to you by Delaware State Housing Authority. Delaware's key to housing in the first state since 1968.
It's time now for the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report with John Butler, heard every morning at this time.
Good morning, anglers. With the first day of fall around the corner, the water is still pretty warm, and with that comes some unusual tropical water fish. I've talked about the cobia before, and during yesterday's report, the uptick in lizardfish being caught. Got a picture on social media of a gang grouper caught over the weekend by Chris DiVincenzo. As for the usual suspects offshore, still plenty of mahi, tuna, marlin, and tilefish being caught. Vince, Jim, and Jay brought back some nice yellowfin tuna from the Washington Canyon over the weekend to Lewis Harbor Marina. Captain Wayne on Muff Diver brought back a 260-pound big-eye tuna to the docks in Ocean City, while more bills limited out on tuna, 4 of them in the 70-pound range. And by the way, I forgot to mention this weekend was also the Cape May versus Ocean City Marlin Club's 37th Annual Challenge Cup. Ocean City ended the tournament with 51 white marlin, a sailfish, and a blue marlin. Cape May Marlin and Tuna Club recorded 63 white marlin, 10 blue marlin, and a sailfish. The event pits the 2 great marlin clubs against each other every year. And I tell you what, that's some good offshore fishing. All right, tight lines and be safe out there. I'm John Butler with the Delaware 105.9 Fishing Report.
So let's say you bought a car, Delaware. You bought a car. And then you find out that the manufacturer did not make the car to meet government emissions standards. They had a fake software in there to make it, to trick the government into thinking that it met standards, but it didn't meet emissions standards. Now, you own this car. Okay, this is what's going on with Volkswagen. Do you care about that at all? Because I'm thinking maybe I'm missing something here, and help me out. Maybe I'm missing something because to me I'm not caring about it. Even if I owned the car. What do you think, Colin? I want to ask Colin because he's owns an auto garage. First of all, you don't think Volkswagen is really that great of a car? I mean, I'm not. We're not trying to down anybody here, but just from a mechanic point of view.
Yeah, they do have quite a few problems.
Really?
And now the diesel engines, they do get great fuel mileage, and maybe it has to do something with that.
So you're getting great fuel mileage. You bought a diesel car. You're getting great mileage. You find out, well, it's not. The emissions aren't what the government wanted. Do you care? 839-1059. 839-1059. This is a big scandal with Volkswagen, this big automaker. They say there's millions and millions of these cars, maybe 11 million worldwide, a lot of them in the United States. And this could end up costing Volkswagen $18 billion in penalties from the EPA. Sounds like a money grab to me from the EPA. But what do you think of it?
Never waste an opportunity, right?
Right. And I want to know what you think, audience. Think about this for a second. You bought a car, and you like the mileage it's getting, but then you found out it was one of these cars with the emissions not being what the EPA thought that it was because of a software trick the Volkswagen built in. 839-1059. Let's see what you think. But, Colin, do you care if it's your car?
If it's my car, no, not really.
I don't either. I don't get the whole, look, it's a scandal to the government, but I really don't care. Why do I care if I'm the consumer and my Volkswagen is getting X miles per gallon? Why do I care about it? Am I supposed to care? Dan, you're not caring about the environment?
Exactly. You don't care about the environment, Dan.
All right, I'm sorry. I do care about the environment, but maybe I just don't believe that it's that big a deal.
Right. If they're getting 50 miles to the gallon, how bad could it be?
Right. That's right. If you're getting great mileage, doesn't that help with the, well, it's the emissions, though. It's like it's running that much and the emissions aren't where they were supposed to be. Right? The smoke, the smog coming out of it.
But if you're getting that great of mileage, that means it's the engine's working efficiently. And when the engine's working efficiently, that means lower emissions. I don't know. I don't know how bad it would be. I would like to see what the difference is with the software tricking it and without it tricking it, the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would see the real data. Is it really doing anything?
Right. So here's the story, right? I'm just repeating. Pretend for a minute you bought a Volkswagen, okay? And it was one of these 4-cylinder diesel Volkswagens. And now you're finding out that the emissions of that vehicle, okay, are not what the EPA wanted them to be, and there's software in the vehicle that tricked the emissions test, okay? Pretty crafty on a part of Volkswagen. Volkswagen is getting nailed hard by this, and their stock dropped 18% in one day. And today, Volkswagen has a statement that says they're working intensely to eliminate these deviations through technical measures, and they've set aside billions of dollars to deal with service costs and other expenses. They hope to, quote, win back the trust of our customers. All right. Win back the trust of our customers. In other words, look, you're found out to be a liar and a cheat. What else are you lying and cheating about, right? Maybe this thing isn't as safe as you said it was. Maybe the airbag isn't as good as you said it was. You know, maybe you're just thinking, once a liar, always a liar. Somebody lies to you about one thing, you think, hey, you catch them in a lie, you think, what else are they lying about? But, Butch, if this is your Volkswagen, do you care?
No, not at all, Dan, because I'm the consumer, and as long as I'm getting my 35 to 40 miles per gallon of diesel fuel, I'm good to go.
Right. So this is really just something that tricked a government standard, but you don't care about that.
No, I don't, because, at the end of the day, if you travel abroad to all the other countries, like a lot of us are fortunate to get to visit other areas around the world, you see just how poor the emission standards are. And it's like we're paying for the world. So if I can get my 35 to 45 miles per gallon and Volkswagen's willing to help me pass the emissions test, I'm good to go.
Right. And by the way,
think about it. With the jet stream and things, we normally here in Delaware get all the garbage that gets dumped on California from, the Asian continent. It blows right across and then dumps right off here on the East Coast. So, why don't they send the bill to China and all these other places?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. By the way, aren't there a lot of people that think when they go to the DMV and they stick that little probe inside your exhaust pipe that they're not going to pass? So don't they try and do everything they can just to pass the test?
Yes, I do believe they do, but all my trucks are 3/4 ton and above, so I don't even really have to go through that. But it's unfortunate if you buy a new diesel pickup that's made in America, and I'm sure they make the same standards for the other trucks also, but now they have a fluid you have to put in there that assists the Clean Air Act, And that's even extra money the consumer has to pay just to drive out on the roads.
Colin, what's he talking about? Let me ask Colin here. What is Colin?
Well, it's called diesel exhaust fluid. It's urea is what it is. And it actually goes in and cleans out the diesel particulate filter, which is kind of a catalytic converter for a diesel. And he's exactly right. It is expensive, and a lot of people don't calculate that when they're buying a new diesel as what it's going to cost to run. Because that's what actually cleans the diesel particulate filter.
All right. What if you don't put it in? You have to do that?
It won't run. It'll actually shut the engine down. It'll give you so many starts.
The engine actually shut down on you, and it won't fire up until you put that stuff in there, and it realizes it's actually there.
Wow. No way to disable that thing, huh?
So that's why you see me smiling, or that's why if you could look through the phone, you'd see me smiling today, because I'm glad somebody got one over on them.
All right. Well, let's see. Thank you, Butch in Rehoboth. Now let's go to Z. Z likes to weigh in on car issues a lot, I've noticed. Z, I'm glad you called. Good morning.
Good morning. On that problem, generally, now this is a general statement, but generally emissions devices and emissions controls are performance robbers, generally. In other words, they don't aid performance, generally. They retard performance. So
I see.
There's a possibility that the car could actually run better due to the fact that certain emissions requirements were omitted.
Right, so the consumer might like it.
Pardon?
So the consumer might like that.
Yeah, so in that regard, it might be a good thing for the consumer as a personal matter. However, if the inspection standards and requirements and so forth are based on certain emissions installments, then it would run a risk, I would think, or it could run a risk that you might not pass inspection. If the government standards for inspections are based on these emission requirements and your car doesn't have them, then you could end up in a situation where you can't pass inspection when you go to get your tags.
Yeah,
that would be a problem.
I don't know, unless it was one of those electronic testing units, and that's when the fake software kicks in. Maybe.
You lost me. Lost me on that one.
Well, don't they have? Isn't there an emissions test that doesn't stick a probe in the exhaust? It's electronically done.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
So maybe the Volkswagen engines, when you're doing a test, it just emits a fake reading. That's the whole point.
That could be. I don't know exactly what the deficiency was or how it came about that they created, but like I say, that's the thing that would worry me, that the car may not in the future meet the necessary requirements for me to pass my inspections.
Fascinating.
That's the part that would worry me.
I got you. Thank you, Z. Good point.
Good.
All right. Antonio is here. Antonio calling from Milford. I'm wondering if you had a Volkswagen, just hypothetically, do you really care about this issue from a consumer point of view? Hello, Antonio.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Good.
It's not hypothetically. I actually do own a Volkswagen.
Do you have a four-cylinder diesel?
No, I have a Jetta.
Okay.
But my thing was, I don't know if they only made it on the diesels.
Yes, just the diesel, the four-cylinder turbo diesel engine. That's what we're talking about.
Okay. Now, my only thing would be, I didn't get to hear all of the last caller's comments, but my thing would be inspection. You fail an inspection and you have to repair or place where Volkswagen, didn't feel the need to place in the vehicle to meet the U.S. standards.
Right.
That would be my only thing. And, with some of the money that the EPA would be receiving from Volkswagen, would it go to its consumers? Because I don't see why they would be getting the money when they're not the ones that are buying the vehicles. It's the consumer buying vehicles. So shouldn't they?
No, there's not even there's not even a recall. There's no recall even on these vehicles. It's just a penalty being assessed by our government.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, are they probing into, how many of these vehicles failed emissions?
I don't think that's the issue. The issue is they're passing the emissions tests, and they're passing it through fake software. That's the point. The EPA says they shouldn't be passing. They should not have passed, but they are because there's fake software in there.
Oh, well, okay, I understand what you're saying. I was looking at, further down the road, maybe a couple years, but if you're saying that this software is causing them to pass emissions,
yes,
and the consumer doesn't have to come out of pocket. If I had a diesel and I didn't have to come out of pocket, I passed emissions every time, then it wouldn't bother me.
That's what I'm saying. You're right. You'd like it. Yeah. You'd like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting good gas mileage. It's not affecting my engine. It's not, affecting the performance of the car. I'm not having to pay for it. And, like I said, I take it through inspection every year, and it's passing. Then I personally have no problem with it.
Hey, do you like your Volkswagen?
Oh, yeah, I like my Jetta. Yes, it's very nice.
All right, man. Thank you, Antonio, for the call. Let's go to Paul in Georgetown. Here's Paul. He's next on the Dan Gaffney program at Delaware 105.9. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning, Dan.
Hi.
If that guy thinks that when the EPA collects that money to the consumer, he can wish in one hand because he ain't getting nothing. But talking about that DEF fluid, it comes in 2.5-gallon containers, and if you don't vehicle, it cuts down speed to about 30 miles an hour until you put it in there, and eventually it'll shut the engine down.
And this is if you buy a new diesel truck?
Yeah.
Like a pickup truck?
Yeah.
You got to add this stuff. You got to add this stuff. How often?
Well, that I'm not sure about. I don't know what the ratio is to DEF fluid and diesel, but I saw one of the 2015 F450s that a guy bought, and I got to tell you, I've never been a fan of diesel because I don't like to hear them run, but when he started that thing up, it didn't sound any different than my gas engine. So, in one respect, they've done something, but I'm really not well versed on that diesel and that DEF fluid yet. I'm learning still, but I know when the guys come in, they buy like 2.5 gallon containers at a time when they.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Let's go to Neil in Milford, Delaware. Neil, you are next on the Dan Gaffney program talking about this Volkswagen emissions scandal. Hello.
Dan, how are you?
Good. Thank you, Neil.
I have a diesel Volkswagen.
Oh, what year?
05.
Okay, a little before when they started doing it. They started doing this.
What they're talking about is the new generation, what they call the green diesel.
Yeah, 2009 to 2015, four-cylinder turbo diesel. So what do you make of all this anyway?
Crazy. It's just crazy. People talk about going to the inspection lane. Well, as long as I've had my Volkswagen, when I go to the inspection lane, they inspect it, and they don't do any emission tests on it at all.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm sure they do. Why wouldn't
they? I assure you they don't. I've got an 05 diesel pickup. I got a 91 diesel Suburban, and I got numerous school buses, and they don't sniff any of that stuff.
They don't sniff the diesels?
Nope.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about it.
I don't know what the big hoo-ha is other than someone got snooping or someone let the cat out of the bag that the engineers were fooling with the engines. But, this is not unheard of. Caterpillar did it. Cummins did it. International's done it. They've all done it to get around the emissions standards set forth by the EPA. They put an engine on a test stand and say, wow, look here, what we got. Oh, it's just absolutely marvelous. And then you put it into a truck and you load it,
and you're going down the highway, and who's to say what it's going to do? Now,
that's right.
If you notice the new trucks, they say they have a sticker on the hood that says "clean idle," and that's something that they pretty much do. They are clean, but when you load an engine, who's to say what it does? DEF fluid, I buy DEF fluid 300 gallons at a time. And it's in an 11-gallon, I think a 9 or 11-gallon tank on the piece of equipment. And if you run it out of DEF fluid, a light will come on, and after so many miles, it goes into what they call a limp mode, about 10, 15 miles an hour.
That is horrible.
Well, I don't know whether it's horrible, whether it's good, but what I will say, Dan, the exhaust pipes on trucks are rusting out from the inside rather from the outside in, because the stuff that we're running through, the urea, is actually rotting the pipes out because of all of the burn off and the water. And
wow.
Oh yeah, it's turning into be quite the issue, and we're more of a test pattern than we are anything else. We're a test on wheels, because they really don't know the what's going to happen to these vehicles. Most of my stuff are 8s or newer, and they don't really know what the end result's going to be, other than when a vehicle gets older and all these different computer issues and modules and whatever that makes all this system work. What's going to happen when it starts going bad? So it's just a rolling test. As far as Volkswagen, well, okay, they got caught with their hand in a cookie jar. Does it bother me? I got a little Volkswagen that's got 100,000 miles on it. It looks like it's brand new. It runs like a raped ape. It'll give about 45 miles to the gallon. And buy it. You don't know it's a diesel when it's running. So as far as me being concerned about and them apologizing and the stock dropping, this isn't just another boondoggle that we're going through in society.
Gotcha. Thanks for the call, man.
Sure.
Let's see if I can get Tom of Milford on briefly. Hello, Tom.
Hey, the thing of it is, if they're charging you for the proper emissions and just putting in this gizmo, you're paying for what you're not getting. That's a ripoff to the consumer and the government,
Yeah. I don't see it as a ripoff of the consumer, because the consumer's not mad about this situation. They say
if they're paying for something they're not getting, I would be mad.
Yeah, but you're not paying for a government standard on emissions. You're paying for, economy.
You're paying for the proper emissions, getting the cheap gizmo.
You're actually getting one software for free, if you think about it. So they've got two different softwares in there. One of them you're not paying for. They're just sliding in there.
There you go. It's a deal.
It's a good deal.
All right. Back in a minute. Traffic Watch. Oh, my goodness. Let's get moving here. Traffic Watch, Robin Bryson. Gas and diesel burners being talked about right now.
Dan, traffic's been running pretty well around the area this morning. Light activity still along the 113 corridor out of Dagsboro through Millsboro and on up into Georgetown. Route 24 westbound into Millsboro has been doing all right. Route 16 through Ellendale. Haven't seen any delays or problems there. The 13 corridor in western Sussex County is also doing all right through Seaford and on up in toward Bridgeville. Kent County into Dover, you'll see a little bit of an increase along 13 northbound, heading up past Route 10 in Camden and right up into the downtown area, but really not a bad ride from what we're seeing this morning. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Are you looking to buy a new mattress and want to know you're getting the best deal at a store that will stand behind their product? Look no further. Hi, I'm Chris Adams, owner of Mattress Peddlers, your local family-owned Serta and Kingsdown mattress retailer. We have 27 floor models to try with mattress sets starting at $349. Two-sided mattresses, futons, bunk beds, headboards, waterbed parts and accessories, and free same-day local delivery. Visit our website, mattresspeddlers.com, or stop in today on Route 24 in Peddlers Village and sleep on a better bed tonight.
Yeah! Good morning. Time for news at Delaware 105.9.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
And Delaware 105.9 News Time, 6:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy again today. Breezy, showers possible this afternoon. And if you're headed to the beaches, rough surf and rip currents are possible again today. Please be safe. A high today, 74 degrees. Delaware State Police right now on the scene of a crash involving a tractor trailer and a vehicle. This is on Gravel Hill Road near Zor Road in Georgetown this morning. Happened about 6:30. Just got off the phone with State Police. No other details being released at this time. But again, there's been a crash involving a tractor trailer and a vehicle on Gravel Hill Road near Zor Road. The panel that sets Delaware's official revenue projections bumping up its estimates, but only slightly. You can read more about that on our website at Delaware105.9.com. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis.
Absolutely. 7 o'clock, Kelly Steele at Delaware 105.9.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapani. The world's biggest car company has just released more bad news about some of its most popular vehicles. CBS's Vicki Barker is live with the latest.
Volkswagen now says some 11 million diesel vehicles worldwide were fitted with software designed to mislead regulators about the car's emissions. 500,000 are in the U.S. and include the Audi A3, VW Jetta, the Beetle, Golf, and Passat. Several other countries and the EU may also launch investigations, and the EPA says it's going to probe other car makers as well. With the company potentially facing billions in fines and legal expenses, VW stock is down another 19% this hour, on top of yesterday's 17% decline. Frank?
Pope Francis will say Mass in Santiago, Cuba, an hour from now. Last night at the shrine of Cuba's patron saint, the Pope prayed for reconciliation among Cubans. CBS's Pam Coulter tells us President and Mrs. Obama will greet the Pope when he arrives at Joint Base Andrews later today.
It's an unusual but not unprecedented departure from protocol. Then President George W. Bush and Laura Bush went to Andrews to greet Pope Benedict XVI in 2008.
I'm Barry Bagnotto on the National Mall in Washington. Massive crowds will gather here and all around this city to cheer a popular pope who's been addressing issues of particular concern to American Catholics.
Absorb the women from their sins from having abortions in the past. I think that was a good move on his part.
Recognition of people who have maybe made mistakes and would still like to be part of the Catholic Church.
This man says Pope Francis is refreshing.
He's living in 2015.
Barry Bagnotto, CBS News, Washington.
Overseas asylum seekers battle Croatian police after the police kept them from entering a new reception center. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development says there's no reason to believe Europe's migrant crisis will end anytime soon. Here at home, the remaining Republican candidates are courting Scott Walker's supporters now that the Wisconsin governor's dropped out of the race.
I encourage other Republican presidential candidates to consider doing the same so that the voters can focus on a limited number of candidates who can offer a positive, conservative alternative to the current frontrunner.
Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton spoke about health care at a stop in Louisiana.
It is finally time for us to deal with the skyrocketing out-of-pocket health costs and particularly runaway prescription drug prices.
Republican rising star Carly Fiorina, known as a tough-minded businesswoman, showed a different side of herself on NBC's Tonight Show.
My name's Snick, and I'm lazy.
Lazy Snick is Fiorina's dog, Snickers. New concerns about interest rate increases in China's economy could push stocks sharply lower at the opening bell. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
So investors are confused, and confusion breeds uncertainty. Uncertainty breeds selling.
S&P futures are down 29 points. This is CBS News.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey.
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hey, Staples guy. My store just opened down the street.
And you need to get the word out.
Right. Well, Staples is your one-stop shop for all printing and marketing needs. So you can print grand opening flyers?
Yes.
Grand opening banners?
No problem.
Custom t-shirts?
Piece of cake.
You sell cake?
It's just the same.
Oh, shame. I love cake.
Now at Staples, 500 business cards are just $9.99 every day. Copy and print more for less. At Staples, make more happen.
In-store and online and not combined. One site only on white mat, no cash or credit back on prior purchases, tax and shipping extra.
Delaware 105.9 News Time, 7:04.
Halpern Eye, sponsoring this newscast, halperneye.com.
Thank you, Dan. As we told you before CBS News, Delaware State Police are on the scene of a crash. It involves a tractor-trailer and a vehicle. It's on Gravel Hill Road near Zor Road in Georgetown this morning, happening about 6:30. There are no other details being released by State Police at this time. We are following the crash. As soon as we get more information from the police, we'll pass that info along to you. A Dover man sustains only minor injuries after his car plunges into the C&D Canal. The Wilmington News-Journal reports that 21-year-old William Ritter was driving his Honda Accord in the state wildlife area Monday afternoon when he ran off the road, hit some rocks along the canal, struck a telephone pole, and then flipped his car onto the rocks below at the edge of the canal. Delaware Division of Fish and Wildlife Natural Resources Police estimate that Ritter was driving about 50 miles per hour in a 20-mile-per-hour zone when that crash happened. Ritter managed to get out of his flipped car and walk to a nearby housing construction site to get some help. He was taken to Christiana Hospital for treatment of minor scrapes and cuts. Ritter was then ticketed for reckless driving and damage to state property. Unattended cooking being blamed for an apartment fire in Cambridge. The Maryland State Fire Marshal says a neighbor reported the flames at the two-story Church Street apartment just after midnight Monday. The fire marshal says one man was inside asleep at the time. He was taken to Dorchester General Hospital for treatment of burns to his back. Damage to the complex has been estimated at $85,000. Investigators say the flames started in the kitchen, again by unattended cooking. 4 families have been left homeless due to that fire. Excitement continuing to build in anticipation for the Pope's visit to the United States this week. Parishes within the Diocese of Wilmington held a holy hour prayer service last night, in fact, to prepare for the upcoming visit of Pope Francis. Hundreds attended a service at St. John the Beloved Church in Wilmington, where Bishop Francis Malooly presided over that service. Bishop Malooly said the Pope's visit is building excitement among various faiths.
My hope is that this will help a lot of people who kind of flounder with their faith, no matter what their religion is, who flounder with their faith, to take a look and say, look, maybe I better take a hard look at this and see what I'm missing. You know, if he's smiling and happy all the time and I'm not, maybe there's something that could change that. He has a way of bringing, a joy and a spirit to everything that he does, and it's contagious.
Pope Francis is scheduled to arrive in D.C. today. The World Meeting of Families taking place in Philadelphia this weekend. Delaware 105.9 News Time is 7:07.
Halpern Eye Care is focused on exceptional patient care with locations throughout Delaware, including the newest in Georgetown. Halpern Eye Care specializes in comprehensive eye exams, medical and pediatric eye care, contact lenses, and they're the leader in designer eyewear with brands like Crocs, Nike, Guess, Converse, and many more. Halpern Eye Care performs the highest quality, most technologically advanced eye exams and ensures that personal attention is given to each patient. Get your children ready for back to school at Halpern Eye Care. Get a complete pair of glasses for only $69, 2 for $89, or free lenses when you buy any designer brand package. Don't neglect the health of your child's eyes as they start school this year. Schedule your children's back to school eye exam today by calling 1-800-734-2010 or go online, halperneye.com. See office for complete details. May not be combined with any other discounts or insurance and must be 21 years of age or younger. Expires 10/31/15.
Checking the high school scoreboard in girls volleyball, Cape beat Sussex Academy 3-0. Woodbridge fell to Christiana 3-1. St. Thomas More swept Sussex Central 3-0, and Milford lost to Brandywine 3-1. In boys soccer, Laurel edged Worcester Prep 2-1. And new high school football rankings have been posted at DelawareSportsZone.com with a new #1 in Division II. In Major League Baseball, the series opener between the Orioles and Nationals was postponed due to rain. They'll make up that game on Thursday afternoon at 4:05. On Monday Night Football, the Jets D forced 5 Colts turnovers. Ryan Fitzpatrick tossed a pair of TDs, and New York moves to 2-0 after beating Indianapolis 20-7. And in preseason NHL action, the Flyers and Islanders split a pair of games, with the Isles winning 3-2 in Brooklyn, the Flyers taking the game in Allentown 5-3, and the Caps shut out Carolina 2-0. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
from the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center. Going to be mostly cloudy, breezy today. Showers are possible. Rough surf and rip currents as well possible along the beaches. A high today 74. Tonight the clouds are going to break. An overnight low of 65. Wednesday looks pleasant, sunny and breezy. A high of 76. Getting some updated temperatures for you around the area right now. Looks like we're going to call it 64 degrees in Milford, 67 on the Circle in Georgetown. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
Volkswagen got caught from 2009 to 2015 in their four-cylinder diesel engines, the turbo diesel engines. The vehicles were equipped with software that kept their toxic emissions within legal levels, but only while the car was being tested. You going to get an emissions test? It's going to pass because it's software saying it's passing, but in reality, not meeting the Environmental Protection Agency standards. Okay. They're cheating the government. Standard. I don't know if the consumer's upset, though, is what I was talking about, and I'm asking you, let's just pretend, and I'm pretending I have one. I don't, but I'm pretending I've got a, 2014 turbo diesel Volkswagen. And I hear the news today. I don't think I care. It almost sounds like, the Volkswagen's being pretty crafty, actually. Sure, they're cheating. That I should care about, I guess. But it doesn't bother me that I own a car that I'm probably still happy with. It's probably getting great mileage. Because I think Volkswagen built it with me in mind, not government standards. So it's probably doing really well. So I'm probably happy with it. So I'm not so sure this is really upsetting the consumer, or is it? After all, they have been caught in a lie. So if you catch somebody in a lie, do you think maybe they're lying about other things? I guess that's always a possibility. The company could face from the Environmental Protection Agency $18 billion in fines. Their stock dropped 18% of its value yesterday with this news. What do you think? 839-1059. What do you think about this emissions business? Is it something I can make you, relate to at all? I'm trying to think, if you own one of these cars, would you care? Look, the only thing I ever hear people say when they go to the DMV and they're going to get their car tested, the emissions tested, they just want to pass. They want to do everything they can to pass that test. Their car might be spewing smoke or whatever, but is there anything I can do to pass the test? Then a guy called and said that if it's diesel, he doesn't go through emissions. Colin, is that right? You don't have a diesel car, right? Colin Walls is a Walls Service Center, happens to be in the studio. He's running the cameras for our live stream or YouTube live streaming.
No, I don't own a diesel, but I think he's correct that they don't probe the tailpipes on them.
Okay.
They never have. Now, they might plug into some of the newer ones, hook up to the OBD2 connector, but I'm not positive about that either. But that's where they would test them. That's how they're tricking them, is through that connector.
Right. So you plug into the, what's it called? ODB?
OBD, onboard diagnostics.
Oh, the
OBD2.
other guy's a rapper. This is OBD?
Yes.
And the software is going to give them a fake reading.
Right, so when it realizes that it's connected, I guess, and they're running certain tests on them, it's going to give them false readings. Eh?
All right. Then, something else I didn't know about, some of you people calling in, I had no clue. You buy a new diesel truck, you got to add not just diesel fuel, but you got to put urea in the gas tank or the fuel tank, or it won't run. It's a separate tank. Colin, it doesn't go in the tank? It's a separate tank.
Right, it's a separate tank.
Urea sounds like urine. Is that what we're talking about here? Urea?
That's what it is. It's a byproduct of it. I think this is synthetic, but urea is actually a byproduct of urine.
And you got to put it in the diesel in addition to fuel to make it run.
Correct.
And if you don't, it'll shut down on you.
Some vehicles will shut down totally where it won't even start. Others will go into like a limp home or a fail-safe mode.
Really?
Yeah.
If I wanted to buy one of those new Mercedes diesel Sprinters, all decked out with a bunch of seats, I'd probably have to put urea in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Urea. I just met a girl named Urea. Makes me think of that, too. West Side Story, everybody. Where do you buy urea? Colin? Do you have to go to a parts store?
You can get it at parts stores, yeah, but also...
Gas stations?
Yeah, gas stations are now selling it, and it's like in a pump, like a dispenser, like a gasoline or a diesel pump, where you can pump it right in for bigger trucks that hold a lot of it.
I'm learning things today. But on the insider line, Meme on Twitter says this is just a hidden tax. It always will cost the consumer. When we hear $18 billion in penalties from the Environmental Protection Agency, keep in mind that's money going to the government. How does a company recoup and pay $18 billion? They pass the increase on to you. So it's all a hidden tax when the government's taking money.
And I'm sure they're saying the EPA is going to say that this tax or this fine that they're levying on them is going to be to repair the environment from the damage they did to it.
Right. They put in the big filters. Hello, John in Millville. Thanks for calling.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning.
As far as Volkswagen goes, they're going to cry $18 billion would shut them down. And it'll probably be reduced, but shouldn't we all be a little concerned about what they were spewing into the environment?
Well, I don't know. Should we?
I don't know. Do we talk to the EPA?
I don't know if I'm that concerned about it, to be honest with you. That diesel engines have been running long before EPA standards that are as high as they are now, and I'm not so sure I'm that concerned about it.
I would like to see the test actually spewed into the air. We probably never will, but I'm pretty certain that this might just prove that the EPA and all their stringent standards are a bunch of crap, just a way to tax the manufacturers and create jobs for themselves.
I'm kind of leaning in that direction, John, that I feel in kind of that way. AWF in Rehoboth is here. Hello, AWF.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Let's take a drive down memory lane. You and I can do this back to the 70s. Remember, the cars weighed probably 5 tons. We had leaded gasoline.
Yes.
Then they took the leaded gasoline away, which was great. That was fine. Then we had to have those catalytic converters put on, okay? That caused a lot of problems, whatever. Then they demanded that the cars be lighter, so now we're all driving around in plastic. Then they started sticking corn into our gas tanks, which is probably the third biggest hoax over on American eyes, next to Obama and climate change. And, you know, where does it end with these folks? It's never good enough till they probably all have us in those pink Barbie Jeeps running around. I'm sick of it.
Apple, you know, I'll tell you when it ends. When Apple makes an electric car that we could all drive, which they're going to do, I just read, then they'll be happy.
And where are they getting the electricity from?
Coal.
Yeah, exactly. You see, folks, look, the EPA is so out of control, and we really need to get this ethanol. I mean, we get 30% less gas mileage. I've tested it myself when Maryland did allow, they had pure gasoline. I used to go back and forth over the border, and I tested it. I've read it. I've heard it. It's such a hoax. We have you can't accelerate. No accelerate. I've turned my air conditioner off to accelerate on a highway. And this is terrible.
Why? Because you don't think you're getting the power you deserve with the 10% ethanol?
Absolutely not. People that have moved into this state that came from states that didn't have the ethanol, they're like, what happened to all my power? So for those younger folks that don't know, they've been tweaking us for a very long time. Some of it was very good in the beginning, but it's gotten to a point where, like I said, we're driving thin plastic cars on corn.
There you go.
And then the Barbie Jeeps. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. Barbie Jeeps for all, she says. 7:19, here's Traffic Watch with Robin Bryson. Robin.
Dan, got an accident to watch for southeast of Georgetown, out along Gravel Hill Road at Kawan Drive. Police and emergency crews on the scene. Don't be surprised to find some delays, possibly some detours in effect in the area there. The rest of Sussex County has been doing all right. I mean, you got some little bit of busy activity through Georgetown along 113 around Route 9, but no major jams or problems right there. If you're traveling in and out of Dover along 13, normal congestion northbound on 13 coming up past Route 10 in Camden and right up into the downtown area. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
Join us this Saturday for the Delmarva Potting Shed. I am Valerie Cordry, one of the hosts. Every Saturday from 9 to 11, Jake Smith and I will be broadcasting live from East Coast Garden Center. Be a part of our lively discussions about plants, landscaping, garden design, and all that's new and exciting. We'll sprinkle in some gardening guests to excite your interest and keep you up to date on the many interesting gardening happenings.
And the Delmarva Potting Shed brought to you by Lawns Unlimited, the exclusive Mist Away dealer on Delmarva, installing misting and spraying systems to control insects for residential and commercial lawns. Call 645-5296 today or visit lawnsunlimited.com to get started. Also brought to you by Stokely Materials, providing high-quality pavers, retaining walls, decorative stones, sand, soil, and mulch with 2 locations, Route 113 in Georgetown and Route 9 in Lewis. Don't miss the Delmarva Potting Shed this Saturday from 9 to 11 here on Delaware 105.9.
Hi, everybody. It's Jim Weller from Weller's Utility Trailers in Bridgeville, and today we're going to talk about kayaks. My wife and I just recently went out kayaking, and we loved it. Got a little bit of sun, got some fresh air, got some good exercise, and it was a great time together. We saw areas of Delmarva that you don't normally see from your vehicle. So, if you're interested in a kayak, Weller's Utility Trailers is the place. We've got a special right now, a brand new 8-foot Sun Dolphin kayak, complete with a paddle. The paddle itself is a $40 value. You get the paddle and the kayak all for one money, $177. That's not a misprint, folks. That's a brand new kayak complete with a paddle for $177. Great gift for anybody. Great way to get out and do something. Once you buy it, like I say, you don't tag it, you don't insure it, you just use it. So come on into Weller's in Bridgeville. Call me on the phone at 337-8228 or check me out on the web at wellers.com. But either way, do something. We're your kayak headquarters.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Ram trucks in stock. Crew cabs, 4x4s, even the Ram 1500. Take $12,000 off at MSRP. And Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. New 2015 Jeep Renegade Sport, just $249 per month lease. Have a job clearing $350 a week? We want to approve your credit today. 2015 Chrysler 200, Grand Caravans, even the all-new Jeep Renegade, just $249 per month lease.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $47,835 with $4,500 factory rebates to dealer and $7,500 dealer discount. Model number DS6H98. Renegade 42-month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Lanchester Sheds and Gazebos is your #1 source for home improvement services. Check out their September end-of-year sale to take advantage of 10% off everything in stock. From sheds to gazebos to horse barns and play sets, they can handle it all. There's no job too big or too small. Due to their affinity for quality and precision, they guarantee exact results with complete attention to detail. Family-owned Lanchester Sheds and Gazebos delivers outstanding customer service, quick turnarounds, and competitive prices with efficiency and pride. Their friendly team will work one-on-one with you to ensure that each project is completed to your satisfaction. Call Lee or Diane at the Lincoln, Delaware location 491-4981. They are located right on Route 113 in Lincoln on Johnson Road. Visit their website at lcsheds.com for more information. Quality built Amish sheds and gazebos with the best building warranty in the business. Financing available in-house. So give Lee or Diane a call today at 491-4981 to take advantage of their end-of-year sale with 10% off everything in stock now through September 30th.
What's it mean when DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go? When water is limited, it means Pioneer brand Optimum Aquamax hybrids.
Our hybrids are tough from root to tassel.
World-class genetics are part of the package.
Optimum Aquamax hybrids stand up to drought when other hybrids wilt. They're proven performers, even when your fields are thirsty, and they stay green longer.
Built to use less water per bushel.
They deliver, rain or shine.
Optimum Aquamax hybrids get more out of every drop. Pioneer, with you from the word go. When DuPont Pioneer says we're with you from the word go, what's that mean?
We have a deep bench of people helping you get the most from your soybean acres year after year.
Your local DuPont Pioneer team is dedicated to knowing your land and knowing your needs throughout the season.
It means we bring world-class soybean varieties developed and proven in your area.
Pioneer brand soybean varieties are developed and tested locally to deliver the agronomics you need to maximize yield and profitability. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
Iron Source. For backyard projects to major construction, no one understands your project like Iron Source. Need a mini excavator? Rent it. Need a boom lift? Rent it. Need a stump grinder? Rent it. Iron Source will match your job with the right equipment and make sure you know how to use it. Iron Source, the only name you need to know for equipment rentals and sales. And now hydraulic hoses made in minutes. Iron Source, the exclusive dealer for Gale, Wacker, Bandit, and Western snowplows. Now with 2 locations, Georgetown and Smyrna, and online at ironsourcede.com.
Do you believe in astrology? I mean, really believe in astrology. I'm not talking about reading your daily horoscope in the newspaper. I'm talking about, do you believe in the astrological signs? Do you believe in stuff like Mercury retrograde? Let's talk about it today on the Susan Monday Show. Starting at 10, Delaware 105.9.
One other thing about emissions. You know, this started with the Volkswagen scandal deepening and the news that Volkswagen stock lost 18%. Also, I'm actually surprised that Volkswagen is the biggest automaker in the world. I thought it was Toyota, but they're saying Volkswagen. So anyway, big scandal. They might get fined billions and billions of dollars, and that story is unfolding. But speaking of emissions in Delaware, here's Colin Walls in the studio. So, Colin, Sussex, if you go to the DMV in Sussex, it's different than going to the DMV in Dover?
Well, it depends on where your car is registered. If you're registered in Sussex, then they actually probe the tailpipe instead of plugging into the OBD2 connector.
Really?
Yeah. If you're registered in Kent County and you go to Sussex, well, they're going to test it just like a Kent County vehicle.
Really?
Yeah. But if you are registered in Sussex, no matter what DMV you go to, and you let them know that it's, especially if you live in Milford, you have to tell them you're in Sussex County because they might not know. They actually probe your tailpipe instead of hooking into the connector under the dash.
And the difference is what for the everyday person?
Well, the difference would be you're getting true readings coming out of that exhaust, where you hook into the OBD2 connector, say in Kent County or Newcastle,
right?
All you're getting is what the computer tells you is going out the exhaust.
I see. So that's where Volkswagen's software thing comes in.
Right, exactly. So if you actually probe the exhaust on that Volkswagen, I'm saying you would probably get a different reading.
Which one is better for the consumer? Do you want them plugging into the ODB? Because what if you have a check engine light or something?
Right.
Does that matter?
Yeah, no, in Sussex County, you could have a check engine light on, but if you pass the emissions standard through the tailpipe, you can still pass.
Okay. What about in Kent?
Kent County, they're not going to let you pass if that check engine light's on.
Okay.
If you're registered, this is where you're registered. It's not where you go.
What I'm saying is, for future reference, you might want to register in Sussex County until they change. Why do they do it differently?
Well, you have to register where your home address is. That's where you live, right?
Well,
yep.
Too bad. Why do they do it different? Why does the DMV operate in different ways?
The emission standards are different in Sussex County than they are in Kent, just like with the ethanol.
I gotcha. I see. You're making sense now, brother. Here's Bob in Dagsboro. Hello, Bob.
Hello and good morning. In 1983, when they were building the new Inner Harbor tunnels, which is 8 lanes underwater, I was working for Harley Davidson, and they lowered me down into the tubes with like a platform and a crane with batteries, because Harley Davidson built golf carts, and they used them because they were battery powered to ride around and transport people back and forth to different projects, because only one end of the tubes, as they called them, was open.
Okay.
Now, after they opened both ends of the tubes, the only trucks that were allowed down in there were diesel tractor trailers, diesel forklifts, and I'm 66 now. I was in my 30s then. It didn't affect me at all. There was no gasoline vehicles down in there because the fans were not installed and running yet. There's wind goes through tunnels underground like that of 60 miles an hour to drive the carbon monoxide from the cars out of there, and I learned about it in school that Harley Davidson sent me to. And those diesel tractor trailers came down there and unloaded pallets with diesel forklifts, and to the best of my knowledge, there was no pollution at all. So I personally think this whole thing's a scam.
That's right. Okay, Bob, good point. Interesting work you did there. Thanks for the call. I wish I had time to hear a little more of that. Thank you very much, Bob in Dagsboro. Now, Delaware 105.9 News. Kelly Steele, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Police and EMS still on the scene of that crash this morning in Georgetown involving a tractor-trailer and a vehicle. It happened about 6:30 on Gravel Hill Road near Zor Road. If you're driving in that area, detours more than likely have been set up. Again, that's all the information we have right now. Delaware State Police investigating. Delaware State Police currently investigating as well the robbery of a Bear Area bank. Police say the suspect entered the M&T Bank in the Fox Run Shopping Center Monday morning, approached the female bank teller and presented her with a demand note for cash. The employee complied with the suspect's demands and turned over an undisclosed amount of money. Nobody hurt in that robbery yesterday. Your forecast today, mostly cloudy and breezy. Showers are possible. Rough surf and rip currents also possible if you're headed to the beaches, a high of 74. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. It's 7:31.
CBS News update, Volkswagen with some diesel deception.
Passat TDI Clean Diesel. Just one reason Volkswagen is the #1 selling diesel car brand in America.
The company says 11 million of its vehicles had suspect software that deceived U.S. regulators regarding emissions. Now, Volkswagen says it set aside $7.3 billion to fix the problem. On CBS This Morning, transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
CBS News has learned the Justice Department is launching a criminal probe into Volkswagen's cheating on U.S. clean air emissions tests. That investigation comes as House lawmakers announced they will hold hearings in the coming weeks.
Clarence Ditlow is with the Center for Auto Safety. He points the finger at VW.
It's not a mistake that you made by accident. It's not something that you weren't aware of. It's something that you deliberately did.
And he says to fix this mess,
there needs to be criminal penalties against those responsible executives.
Volkswagen stock down 20% today. CBS News Update, I'm Dave Barrett.
This is Sheila Setter of Brighton Homes. This is your last chance to build a new stick-built home with the features you love and the prices you want in the Villages of 5 Points on Savannah Road in Lewis. Purchase in September and receive free granite, free crown molding, free hardwood and tiled floors, $10,000 in options of your choice, and we will pay your entire 3% transfer tax. Visit us at our furnished model open daily. Call me at 703-6633 or go to brytonhomes.com.
Brighton Homes is an equal housing opportunity builder. Prices and incentives are subject to change without notice.
If your home or apartment was built before 1978, renovations can spread lead paint dust that can cause children 6 and under to grow up with behavior issues and even severe learning disabilities. If you're having work done, the EPA now requires that your contractor be lead safe certified. Don't let lead paint take away your child's future before it even begins. For a certified contractor, visit leadsafedelaware.org or call 1-800-464-4357. Brought to you by Delaware Health and Social Services.
So, you want copies and printing done fast, friendly, and affordable? Then, head to Print Promo Coast to Coast at 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, near Route 1 at 5 Points. We're locally owned and operated and can turn your job around even while you wait. And yes, we even print envelopes. Print Promo Coast to Coast, 1636 Savannah Road, Lewis, or you can call us at 644-9570. It's time to think outside of the box store and shop local.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Ram trucks in stock. Crew cabs, 4x4s, even the Ram 1500. Take $12 grand off at MSRP. And Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. New 2015 Jeep Renegade Sport, just $249 per month lease. Have a job clearing $350 a week? We want to approve your credit today. 2015 Chrysler 200, Grand Caravans, even the all-new Jeep Renegade, just $249 per month lease.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the coolest small town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $47,835 with $4,500 factory rebates to dealer and $7,500 dealer discount. Model number DS6H98. Renegade 42-month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
Live on the sponsor hotline is Jim Weller, and in a minute, I'm going to talk about your free Wi-Fi hotspots that are more dangerous than you might realize, especially in tourist areas like Rehoboth Beach and other places. We'll talk about this in a minute. I want to know about your Wi-Fi usage in Delaware. So that's coming up. But first, here's Jim Weller, Weller's Utility Trailers. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Dan. And I just want to remind everybody that we sell a lot of Amish-made products, but the things that are starting to really increase are the shed business. It's the time of year people want to get a shed. They want to think about getting their things out of the weather that's to come, and you need to get ahead of that. We have about 25, 30 sheds in stock. Good selection of them. We sell an Amish-made product. It includes delivery and setup, and the people that own the factory that make the sheds are involved with the delivery and setup, so that way they don't just sub it out to some contractor that maybe doesn't have the pride and compassion and the care when it comes to setting it up. We get more comments from our customers that buy a shed on how it was delivered and set up than we do actually the shed. So if you're looking for a shed, there's many places that sell them. We've got the price, we've got the selection, and we can do what it takes to help make you get what you need. So if you also are in a homeowners association and you need it to be a certain way or have certain things, we can also work with that. We also sell carports, which are not Amish-made, but they also include delivery and setup, and a lot of people get them to put their vehicle under or firewood under or get their boat out of the weather. So whether you need a shed, a gazebo, a dog kennel, a chicken coop, or a carport, Weller's Utility Trailers has it. We're right on Route 13 in Bridgeville. Phone number is 337-8228, Wellers.com on the web. Give us a call. Like us on Facebook, come see us in person, or at least tell somebody else about us. Other than that, have a good day, and I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you. Do you pay attention to Wi-Fi hotspots? I guess with people now with smartphones and tablets and walking around with all kinds of devices, you want to find free Wi-Fi so that you don't have to use your airtime minutes. And it is great when you find a Wi-Fi hotspot with no password required. Like if you go to a restaurant or something, or a coffee shop, and they just let you hook in, you get right in, you start your online experience. The problem is, according to what I'm reading here, that can be dangerous. Some of the free hotspots people set up are set up by hackers. And if you log on to their network with your cell phone, you potentially are allowing hackers to access personal private information about us, videos, maybe a social security number. I don't know how they would get that, but who knows what's in there. Insurance information, credit card information, mobile payments, whatever they're looking for. They can retrieve it once you've logged in. And apparently it happens a lot at tourist destinations. Have you run across any suspicious free Wi-Fi? Do you watch this sort of thing? SkyCure is a mobile threat defense company. Recently released a list of the world's top tourist destinations that are surrounded by malicious Wi-Fi networks. So this does not surprise me, but just for example, Times Square, a hub of people. Times Square, New York City, tops the list, most dangerous. They went there, and they stood right in the middle of Times Square, and they brought up the Wi-Fi. All right, let's see. They found 10 suspicious Wi-Fi networks in a 1-block radius. 1 block. Because I guess hackers know a lot of people are there, a lot of tourists traveling through, people looking for free Wi-Fi. They can mislabel the Wi-Fi to say whatever. They could call it Times Square free Wi-Fi, whatever, and you're from out of town. Who knows? You log in, you're in trouble. Who knows? The Hollywood Walk of Fame, another high target location for hackers. Worldwide, too. Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, major theme parks, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, the Las Vegas Strip, all kinds of malicious Wi-Fi. Even Vatican City in Rome, a lot of fake Wi-Fi there, all these big tourist destinations. So I am thinking that if hackers are onto this, why wouldn't Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk be or Ocean City Boardwalk or whatever be a place for a hacker to set up a fake Wi-Fi? Right? I never even thought about it. I thought it was difficult for a hacker to get information just via an internet connection. Is it not that difficult? I guess they must know how to do it or they wouldn't be doing it. Do you pay attention to that at all? What Wi-Fi networks are available? Do you ever know anybody to do that, Colin? Set up a Wi-Fi network, not maliciously, but just on their own? Because you could set up your own phone to be a Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, I actually know somebody that tried it out just to see if they could get people to connect to it, and
just to see in a busy place.
And it worked.
Really?
Yeah.
There's that many people searching for free Wi-Fi at any given time.
Yep.
Really?
With the limited data plans where you only have so much data allowed on your phone, everybody wants to not use up their data anytime they can get, any chance they can get. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep. And
so you can call your free Wi-Fi anything you want.
Right. It's just like at your house. You can name it anything you want.
Right.
Well, you can do it on your phone also.
So and I've heard of this, people will sit at Starbucks and they'll call a Wi-Fi, like they'll turn the thing on and they'll call it, free customer, Starbucks customer Wi-Fi or whatever. And so another customer in the shop will log in and that's really not Starbucks. There might be several different ones listed. You got to know which one. Right?
Sure.
Because it could be making a fake one. Like at the board, it could say Rehoboth Boardwalk Wi-Fi, but it could be a fake one.
Right. It could even say the real Rehoboth Boardwalk Wi-Fi.
And that's
could be a fake one.
Right. So how are you supposed to know, right? But once you log in, what are they going to get off the phone, though?
What if you order something, and I'm not sure how much they can get, if they can actually get into your phone or your laptop from that, but I would think they probably can because you're given access.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a networking
genius, well, look, SkyCure, they're saying watch out for it. That's all. 839-1059. I don't think much about it, but maybe you do. That would be a neat experiment, though. Turn on your Wi-Fi, your mobile hotspot, in a busy place, and then see how many people log on. All right. Let's talk about this accident. You know, we've been talking about an accident. Here is Valerie. And Valerie, where are you right now?
Right now I'm southbound on Route 30 south of Zoar Road, but Delta's got the road blocked off between Zoar and Springfield where the little store is. And when I went around it, I looked up in my mirrors, I could see the red and blue, so I'm estimating that it was an accident there in the S-curve on Gravel Hill Road.
Yeah, that's the one we've been talking about. In case you're just tuning in and didn't hear, a tractor-trailer and vehicle accident is what we're hearing.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but they got the road blocked off, so everybody's got to go around. So if they got an alternate route, they might want to do that.
Mm-hmm. It's been going on for a while, too. The accident, I think, occurred around 6:30, as far as we know. And it's still being cleared up, so that's never a good sign.
Yeah, they overdrive this road every time.
People overdrive the road, you mean? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they drive it too fast. You know, kind of going back to one of our conversations about speed. You know, they drive this road way too fast. I see them all the time, 60, 65 mile an hour.
You're talking about Gravel Hill Road?
Yep, Gravel Hill Road.
Which is also 30, isn't it?
Which is also 30, and that S-curve is treacherous because it'll get a little bit split if you hit that thing too fast. I mean, it's a slide invitation.
Thanks for the update, Valerie. Good luck with the detour. Everyone else needs to be aware of it, and I'm glad you called, Valerie. Here's what we do actually know. I'll see if I can get Kelly Steele to recap whatever it is that we do know about this accident this morning. She can tell us.
Dan, we don't know a lot. We do know the police, EMS, still on the scene of that crash. It happened about 6:30 on Gravel Hill Road near Zoar Road. It involves a tractor trailer and a vehicle. But again, detour set up. Other than that, state police not releasing any information just yet.
All right. Thank you. Talking about Wi-Fi this morning, and hackers can access passwords, email accounts, other information you might have used on your phone when you log into a free Wi-Fi network. And tourist areas are popular for this sort of thing. Hackers typically set up a fake free Wi-Fi network within radius of top tourist destinations, according to the SkyCure people. And they visited some big tourist destinations to test this out and found lots of fake networks.
Ways to make paying for things is easy.
I'm going to play also here a kind of an alarming video from the Today Show where they did an investigation that talks about how the hackers set up the fake Wi-Fi in tourist areas. All right. Here's what we have. Here's what we know. Let's listen to it. Should be coming up.
Hi, guys. Good morning. You know, it's tempting to find the first Wi-Fi network that you see that doesn't require a password and log on. But, of course, it's very enticing for that very reason. It's free. And hackers are hoping that, in fact, it will be so enticing, it will be too good for you to ignore.
You touch down in a new city, and the first thing many of us do, look for a Wi-Fi network and log on. But beware, that's exactly what cyber crooks are hoping we'll do.
Right.
Your videos, your social security number, your insurance information, your credit card information, mobile payments, and they're after that information.
Varun Kohli has worked in computer security for 10 years. Now a VP with SkyCure, which has just released a list of the top tourist attractions surrounded by potentially malicious Wi-Fi networks. First on the list, no surprise, Times Square, New York. Each red pin represents a network that could be risky.
In a 2-square block area,
could be
10 suspicious Wi-Fis.
That is true. When we did this study, we found hundreds of bad Wi-Fi networks just around the top tourist destinations.
One big warning sign says, Varun, the word free.
Free.
If you see free Wi-Fi advertised, be wary. Nearly 1 out of 10 suspicious networks calls itself free. So we asked tourists in Times Square how...
Wait a minute. This segment paid for by the data plan company, you know. I don't know. They asked tourists. Let's hear what the tourists said.
They pick a Wi-Fi.
Honestly, I'm not too picky. I just choose one, and if it works, then I'm like, woo.
Mainly, I just wait till we get back to the hotel, use the hotel's Wi-Fi, but if I'm desperate to contact home, I would risk it.
To prove how easily hackers can gain access to phones, Varun hacked mine in less than a minute.
I have access to your password. I have access to your bank information. I have access to your email.
You can see all of this.
I can see all of that.
Oh,
Studies
boy.
suggest 92%
Nice.
of people who use free Wi-Fi never read the disclaimer, which sometimes clearly states the network will access your personal information. On the list of tourist sites surrounded by risky Wi-Fi, we weren't surprised to find the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Everywhere I go, I'm searching for a Wi-Fi to be with my friends. I just assume that it's the same network. I don't know.
Also on the list, the area surrounding Notre Dame Cathedral in
Right,
Paris.
right. All these places.
Major theme parks in California and Florida, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, and the Vegas Strip. But this one was a surprise, just outside Vatican City in Rome. Around the Vatican, you've got 6 suspicious sites. You're not saying the Vatican is suspicious.
That is right. When people go, they stay roughly around 30 minutes distance from the tourist destination. And hackers know about it. So they have set traps around the tourist destination.
One big caveat, just because the network is suspicious doesn't mean it's malicious. But it may be worth avoiding.
The safest way not to get sick is not to shake hands with sick people.
Don't shake hands with sick people.
Good advice there. Don't shake hands with sick people. So you want to do everything you can to avoid, of course, the risky apps and also the risky Wi-Fi networks.
Okay.
Here's a list of tips, if you can.
All right,
from
tips.
What the experts are telling us. To begin with, don't join free Wi-Fi networks unless you're really sure you can trust them. Keep your phone's operating system up to date. If your phone or app start to crash, turn off the Wi-Fi and the phone immediately and download a mobile security app.
There you go.
Lastly, check out this website, maps.skycure.com. Type in your area or your zip code and potentially suspicious Wi-Fi networks will pop up. It doesn't mean that they're all malicious. Many could be very legit, but their history suggests that you might want to try
What do you say,
avoiding them.
maps.skycure?
That's fascinating.
I'd like to check Rehoboth. Kelly, are you a free Wi-Fi user? Are you looking for Wi-Fi a lot?
Yeah, occasionally.
I think a lot of people are,
But,
right?
you know, unless I know it's a secure site. Like if I'm traveling, I won't use my phone in between places. I'll wait until I get to the hotel where it's password protected to check everything.
I see.
I don't do it just randomly out and about.
Apparently a lot of people are doing
A
that.
lot of people do.
What have you noticed with free Wi-Fi? 839-1059. And I kind of am wondering also why towns, governments, don't have this as just a public amenity. Just like we have trash cans or something. You know, I often wonder, like, why a place like Lewis or Rehoboth, the city just doesn't put in free Wi-Fi throughout the whole city. Wouldn't that be cool? As an amenity. Almost like a public utility, in a sense. All right? We build all this infrastructure. We make river walks in towns, and we put in things to make it an attractive place to visit and to stay, and we put in parks. What about electronic infrastructure? Wi-Fi. Seems to me it can't be too expensive. I would think that would be something more and more communities would want to do, right? Am I wrong? 839-1059, 839-1059. They could do it like the hotel, like a hotel. When you log in to their Wi-Fi network, there'll be a splash page with an ad. Thank you for visiting the city of blank. Enjoy your stay, visit our shops, spend some money. We appreciate you. Continue on, and then on you go. All right, 7:52, Delaware 105.9 Traffic Watch. Robin Bryson is here. I don't know. You tell me what you think about that. Any free Wi-Fi people out there? Do you care? Does a report like that faze you, or do you still use the free Wi-Fi, no password needed if you see it? 839-1059. Here is Traffic Watch. Robin Bryson.
Dan, traffic's been running pretty well around the area this morning. Normal busy activity in and out of Dover along 13, northbound and southbound. Do have an accident to watch for north of Dover up in Smyrna. Northbound 13 at Smyrna Landing Road on the north edge of Smyrna. An accident with injuries causing some delays on northbound 13. Southbound had a minor delay there as well. In Sussex County, you've been running fairly well along 13. A little busy right through Georgetown at the Route 9 intersection. Same thing in Millsboro, 113 at Route 24. You'll see just a little bit of busy activity. No major problems there at the moment. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9. Go get Traffic Watch updates with me, Robin Bryson, and our entire team watching Delmarva roadways weekday mornings and afternoons on Delaware 105.9.
Brian Pettyjohn, Senator Pettyjohn, pointing out to me, thank you, Brian, for the message and the reminder. Georgetown and Sussex County provide free Wi-Fi on the Circle. That's awesome. I think it's great. All right, let's go to, are other towns doing that? Why not, right? Why not? I think it's great. Let's go to your weather forecast, our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, mostly cloudy and breezy, a shower in spots. Watch out for some rough surf and rip currents. High today, 74. Clouds will be breaking tonight. It'll be breezy, low 65. Sunshine, breezy day tomorrow, high 76. And then overcast tomorrow night, low 65. Thursday, breezy, times of clouds and sun with a high 77. And then Thursday night, cloudy, breezy, and warm with a low at 68. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Show yourself a little love with a delicious cup of hot or iced McCafe coffee at McDonald's. Now you can get any size of either one for just $1 any time of the day or night. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Waterproofing your deck can be a hassle each season, so stop working and start entertaining with Duradeck, installed by Delmarva Roofing and Coating, the area's preferred installer. Duradeck is the ultimate maintenance-free outdoor deck flooring backed by an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Duradeck is ideal for roof decks, sun decks, balconies, and more. It provides permanent, waterproof protection designed for strength, stability, and slip resistance. Made in America, Duradeck is Delmarva's choice for outdoor deck flooring. Duradeck from Delmarva Roofing and Coating. Find out more at delmarvaroofing.com.
Come take advantage of the Sunfest savings at Berlin Chevy. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock. Colorado, Tahoe, Suburban, Impalas, Malibus, Cruises, even the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. Take $12,000 off. Have a job clearing $350 a week? Berlin Chevy wants to approve you for the credit you deserve. 2015 Chevy Cruze, just $167 per month lease. Plus, we'll take any trade, even if you still owe thousands on it. Take $12,000 off with any trade on select new 2015 Chevy Silverados in stock.
Remember, Jim wants to see you in the littlest, coolest town in America, Berlin, Maryland.
Berlin Chevy. Find new roads on Old Ocean City Boulevard, Berlin, Maryland.
Qualified buyers. Credit may affect terms. Balance of trade carried over to new loan. Discount based on MSRP of $58,650 with $8,798 factory rebates to dealer and $3,202 dealer discount. Stock number 3725. Cruise 36-month, 10,000 mile per year lease. No security deposit. Plus tax tag dealer processing. Offers not in combination.
Have you considered reducing your smoking cost by switching to the electronic cigarette? A pack of cigarettes costs on average $5.50 each, meaning your average pack-a-day smoker will pay about $2,000 annually to support their addiction. The average e-cigarette user to duplicate that one pack-a-day habit will spend about $600 on refills each year, a savings of over $100 each and every month. But not all e-cigarettes are created equal, and there are so many choices, and many do not know where to start. So if you'd like to make the switch to a less expensive nicotine delivery system, come to one of Delmar Vapor Lounge's convenient locations on Route 113 in Millsboro at the Mill Pond Plaza, or Route 13 in the Food Line Shopping Plaza in Delmar, where our knowledgeable sales staff can help you find the exact right piece of equipment for your vaping needs. Whether you're a 1, 2, or 3 pack a day smoker, at Delmar Vapor we can find the piece of equipment that's best for you. And with over 240 flavors to choose from, like tobacco, menthol, or even birthday cake, we're sure to find a one that's right for you. That's Delmar Vapor Lounge in Millsboro or Delmar, where you can still try an e-cigarette before you buy one.
And let's talk about selling your house. I know you don't want to get stuck with 2 mortgages. You don't want to give your home away or leave money on the table. So Dustin and Maria Oldfather, the people to call, the realtors I recommend. If I was selling my house, I'd call them. They'll sit down with you, establish a price and a deadline. If that deadline passes and your home isn't sold, they'll buy your home. And a complete satisfaction guarantee. The Oldfather Group of Ocean Atlantic Sotheby's International Realty. 302-296-6644. That's it, 302-296-6644.
On Delaware 105.9.
And Delaware 105.9 News Time, 7:59. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Steele from the Weather Center. Mostly cloudy conditions. Breezy out there. Showers possible today. Rough surf and rip currents are also possible if you're headed to the beach. Still no details regarding that crash involving a tractor-trailer and a car on Gravel Hill Road near Zor Road in Georgetown this morning. At last check, though, detours had been set up for area motorists. The Sussex County Council meets today. However, that meeting will begin at 1 p.m. instead of the usual 10 a.m. The council has a very short agenda today. However, there are 3 public hearings scheduled to begin at 1:30 this afternoon. Delaware 105.9's John Butler will be at the meeting and will have more details for us later today here at Delaware 105.9 and at Delaware105.9.com. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis, up to 67 degrees right now on the beach in Lewis. Delaware 105.9. It's 8 o'clock.